Devin Hester, you are ridiculous.
The Bears are who we thought they were. And that's why we took the damn field. Now, if you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
Shut up. See that? That's your IQ, buddy. 0.
Hungry Chicago, finally champions on this January day in New Orleans.
This is the Barely Qualified Podcast with your hosts, Nick Labris, Jason Maxwell, and Drew Bailey.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Barely Qualified. I am Jason Maxwell. With me, as always, are Nick Labris and Drew Bailey. So, everyone, it's officially Christmas week. With tomorrow being Christmas Eve, the Bears have officially clinched a playoff spot and have a foothold on the NFC North with a magic number of, unbelievably, a magic number of 1 to clinch the damn division. The Bears are also 2 wins and 1 Seattle loss away from the number 1 seed in the NFC. Unbelievable to think about after week 2, it being in the books, but here we are. So we're going to talk through all of that, plus preview our week 17 matchup against the 49ers and much, much more. Before we get to that, you know the drill. I want to tell you who this show and what Barely Qualified is brought to you by. And so I want to talk to you about our friends over at Glenrock Pop. Barely Qualified is proudly fueled by the fizz of Glenrock Pop, Lake County's legendary soda revival. Crafted with pure cane sugar, poured into classic glass bottles, and bursting with nostalgic flavor, Glenrock is more than a drink. It's a hometown icon. Whether you're sipping on orange, cream soda, Nick's personal favorite, the new lime, Glenrock is bringing the joy back to every corner of Lake County. Want to catch their pop-up trailer in action? Follow Glenrock Pop on Facebook for the latest event stops. Are you ready to stock up? Of course you are. Then head to glenrockpop.com to find retailers near you. From tailgates to game days, Glenrock Pop is the ultimate sideline sip. Don't just drink, celebrate. So again, we're going back-to-back shows kind of quick here with good reason. We have Christmas this week. We just came off of an insane Bears victory over the Packers, but we're going to preview things up against the 49ers in California. I can't tell you where they actually play. The San Francisco 49ers that don't actually play in San Francisco, but that's who we're playing up against in week 17. Nick, I'm going to do you the honors, give you the floor so you can walk us through this preview in this really, really big matchup in the NFC.
Yeah. So, Jay, you mentioned it, Bears at 49ers. This will be the Sunday night football game, primetime Sunday game. So we got that to look forward to. And Jay, you're correct. They do not play in San Francisco. They play about 45 minutes, I believe, east of there in Santa Clara at Levi Stadium. God, could you imagine playing 45 minutes away from the downtown area of your city? That would be a fucking nightmare.
Hey, at least they're in their state of California still.
Oh God. So Bears at 49ers, big game. Like it's easy to look at, this is like a pretty natural letdown spot, I feel like, just because the emotions of Saturday's game were so high and it felt like such a big win. And it was a big win. It's not to say that it shouldn't have, but the emotional highs, and then to just back that up with your next most important game, right? Like this is a very, very important game. Like you've already made the playoffs, so that's good. And that's another kind of leading into this letdown spot opportunity here. You made the playoffs. You've hit you've by far exceeded all expectations on the season so far. You beat your rivals in one of the most legendary regular season games in the past 40 years that I can remember, right? But now you have a big game against the 49ers. And if you want the Super Bowl to go through Chicago, this is a must win. And no time to take off. So we need to make sure that that our Bears make sure that they take this, that they get back up for this game the way that they got up for the Packers game. As of right now, the odds makers have the Niners as 3-point favorites. Makes sense to me. I think, the pretty even teams. Home team gets the advantage there. Over under is 52.5. That's a pretty big number. We'll get into it, but I think I kind of know why. And then the Bears, if you're gonna tail me, let's be honest. Bears are plus 140 on that money line. So I will be on that for sure. I'll probably put a bet on that tonight before we finish, just so I lock it in before any odds change or move or whatever. I don't think that'll happen too much in this game, but you never know. So those are the kind of the betting stuff. And so before we get into the game, there's actually two things. I only have one thing written down here. I was scrolling Instagram while we were waiting to start the pod, and I don't want to go too far down the Kevin Warren Northwest Indiana rabbit hole. But there are reports that the Chicago Bears sent a like an inspection crew or like a test crew to Hammond, Indiana, to a site that they thought that might fit for the stadium. So I just want to let you guys know, if this is a bluff, which I think we all kind of think it's a bluff, they are really going all out on this bluff. So just want to call that out. It was a Twitter, so I don't know if it was an actual reporter or if it was an unverified Twitter source. I don't know, but I saw an Instagram reel about it, so I thought I'd bring it up. Anybody have thoughts on that?
It's like when I hear Hammond, and God bless it, I'm not trying to take but when you're talking about having a professional franchise, a historical, one of the first teams in the NFL, just geographically located and in complete identity with Chicago, and then I hear Hammond as a potential locale, I'm like, the Hammond Bullfrogs sounds like a good, like, independent minor league baseball team. Maybe they can host the Chicago Bears for a night, show them a good time. Like, it's just laughable. It's beyond satire at this point.
The cool thing about Hammond is that you can go to a Bears game and then immediately go to the industrial strip right after. So that's good.
Catch some mesothelioma with your football team doing in Hammond.
Kevin Warren also, like, you just keep saying bluff, Nick, and he strikes me as that guy at the poker table that gets his cards and just smiles all the time, and the smile just keeps getting bigger no matter what cards go out on the table, and it's just like, nobody likes that guy. Nobody, he's giggling every time something comes out, and he's like, "Oh, yeah," like, unbelievable. I can't with this right now. I really can't.
Yeah. I also don't like that guy at the poker table. Is the guy who's going to go all in on like the third hand of the game too, and it's going to just piss everybody off. It's like, God, get the fuck out of here, man. So I had to get that out because I saw it literally 10 minutes ago. Wanted to shout it out and mention it to you guys. But let's put that in the rear view. Let's move on to happier and more fun topics. The Pro Bowl rosters were announced, the Pro Bowl starters. Boys, we got 3 starters in the Pro Bowl this year. Joe Tooney, no surprise there. Drew Dahlman, congrats to him. First Pro Bowl for him in his career. And Kevin Byard were the 3 Bears that won the fan vote for Pro Bowl. So that's awesome, right? That's great. I definitely think there were some snubs on the Bears. And I know this is fan vote, so who fucking knows? Like, really, you know what I mean? Sure. This isn't really an end all be all by any means. And not to get too much on a tangent, but that's why, like, Pro Bowls and like all-star teams always crack me up when they talk on like Hall of Fame resumes, because it's such like it's like a popularity contest, not necessarily like an actual, like, all pro is like an actual honor. Pro Bowl is like, usually the players are good and they deserve it, but not all, you know what I mean? It's kind of like whoever has the biggest fan base and all that stuff. So, but
100%. And don't forget, Mitch Trubisky was a Pro Bowler at one point in his career. So,
we're going to get there.
Okay, good deal.
We'll talk.
So the snubs that jumped off to me right off the bat, the people who I think are deserving of Pro Bowl representation this year for the Bears that didn't get the call. Nashawn Wright is the first guy. Leads the league in interceptions, leads the league in total takeaways, forced fumbles, everything you could want for a corner. He may not be the best shutdown corner, best at coverage, but he is damn good at taking the ball away. And I do think that he deserves some recognition for that. So to see him now on the roster, I didn't love that. Darnell Wright is another guy. I mean, we got 2 offensive linemen, so that's great, but I thought Darnell Wright deserved to be on there as well. That dude has just been the absolute anchor of the Bears offensive line. So to see him not on there, I thought was a little bit of a bummer. And Josh Blackwell, I talked about on the call. Sorry, work stuff. On the pod earlier this week about how I thought Josh Blackwell would be a Pro Bowler for that special team role. I mean, he is recovering onside kicks. He's blocking field goals. He is, what else did he do? He did something else really good. He had that punt down inside the 1 yard line against the Browns a few weeks ago. Like he's an absolute stud on special teams, never has penalties, always been on the tackles on punt and kickoff. He's an absolute stud. So I thought that he deserved that spot as well. I also thought maybe Jaquan Brisker, he's had a nice year, but maybe not quite a Pro Bowl level year. But the top three that I mentioned, I definitely thought that those guys were deserving of the Pro Bowl. And this is just the starters. So there will be reserves added. There will be people dropping out and replacements put in, all that fun stuff. So there's a good chance we're going to get more than just three in there when all is said and done. But hey, let's be honest. Hopefully none of the Bears players are in the Pro Bowl, right?
Right.
Hopefully we're not dealing with the Pro Bowl. We got bigger fish to fry that week. Because it's still the week before the Super Bowl, right? Am I okay?
Yep.
I feel like they changed the format like every other year. And
every other year, because it used to be after the Super Bowl.
It used to be in Honolulu
in
after
Hawaii,
the season.
which sounds fun.
Sounds awesome.
That's like,
Now
hey,
you're
welcome
in
to Orlando, bitch.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You want some crack? But anyway, so yeah, Bears three Pro Bowlers right off the bat named. This is the most Pro Bowlers. This isn't going to surprise anybody. Most Pro Bowlers the Bears have had since 2018. In 2018, they actually had 8 Pro Bowlers, which is insane. The list of them is names you probably haven't thought of in a while, plus some of the old familiars. Cody Whitehair was a Pro Bowler 2018. Mm-hmm. Charles Leno was a Pro Bowler in 2018. Eddie Jackson, remember when he was good? He was a Pro Bowler in 2018. Obviously, Khalil Mack was a Pro Bowler. Akeem Hicks was a monster. Loved Akeem Hicks. Tariq Cohen was a Pro Bowler in 2018. I thought that he was long gone by then, but I was wrong. Kyle Fuller, remember, he was a good corner for a while. And then, Jay, you alluded to it earlier, Mitch Trubisky was like the 8th replacement level quarterback when like 7 dudes were like, yeah, I'm good. I don't really want to go to Orlando. Mitch is like, I'll do it. And he went. But he went there. He's on the roster. There's a picture of him. He played in the game, so he is a Pro Bowler. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun when the Pro Bowl comes and goes every year, and I don't care because no Bears are there. I don't think they had a single Pro Bowler last season. Based on the list I looked at, they had I went to a list of the all Bears Pro Bowlers by year for the past 10 years and just skipped right over 2024. Didn't even have anything listed. So either it's an old list or more probably it just didn't have a Pro Bowler last year. But yeah, it's fun. You got 3 guys, that's pretty cool. So I like seeing that. I don't know. Did you guys see that at all? Like, is that, no, did you guys have any other snubs that I might've missed?
I mean, I think there's just so many good running backs this year and so many good running backs and the depths. I think Swift is he's been a huge pickup for us this year. Just splitting him up just doesn't give him the standout stats like the guys like Gibbs, Bijan, all of them. But yeah, I think he could be recognized and he was upper in the ballot. But yeah, I don't haven't had a standout offensive season that other than the offensive line just manhandling people that would have that. Our defensive line sure as hell ain't going to get any nominations. So yeah.
And our linebackers were people we'd never heard of most of the year.
Correct. Correct. And
stay healthy.
Edmonds and whatnot, they've been hurt to the point where it's like they've been playing well, but yeah, I don't know. I think Swift was the one I was like, maybe he can kind of eke in there, but the 3 that got voted in on the NFC side, it's Jahmyr Gibbs and Christian McCaffrey and Bijan Robinson. Those are undoubtedly the 3 that should be there. It's just top of the top. Absolutely. So that's fair. Tackle, right? I mean, you look at the tackles that got voted in too. It's Sewell, Wirfs, and Williams, and that's kind of that's
it's a class of the NFC for sure.
That is the class. Although I would argue, I think that it's not a ridiculous argument to say that Darnell Wright is better than one of those 3 this year. I would have liked to see that because our offensive line is kind of clearly the best offensive line in the NFL, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it would have been but yeah, they got two. They got two in there, and that'll do. So
Well, our offensive line, and then whoever our defensive line is playing.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I mean, tackle wise, like Trent Williams is obviously the elite offensive tackle in the NFL, but this season he's had some injuries.
Yeah.
I haven't watched a lot of 49ers. I mean, that again, like I said at the top, Pro Bowl is very much like a popularity contest. It's kind of like it's not so much an achievement award as much as it's like they award it to the people that they know. So, I mean, I have no problem with him being a Pro Bowler, obviously, but I do think that puts the younger up and coming guys a little at a disadvantage. But also, Pro Bowl, who fucking cares? No one's going to watch. I'm not going to watch the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
So who cares? It's just cool to be recognized that three guys on the.
It's flag football. No,
it is.
They don't
actually
tackle. They play flag
yeah,
football.
I know.
God. You guys remember when Sean Taylor absolutely lit up that punter?
I just saw that replay like a day or two. I was like, fuck, that was a Pro Bowl, dude.
Dude, that was a Pro Bowler. It was like one of the best safety in the NFL against a fucking punter and just laid him out. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Awesome
That was
stuff.
cool. That was cool.
Okay, cool. Well, again, that was fun stuff to go off the top. I'm glad we got recognized because I think the season we've had, it would have been shocking to see nobody out there. Kevin Byard, love to see him out there because I thought that when the Bears signed him prior to last season, I thought he was going to be an awesome acquisition for the Bears. And then Eberflus just didn't know how to coach. I mean, I know he's a defensive coordinator and he's been coaching defense his whole life, but that defense was so vanilla, had no ball hawking abilities in it all. It was just sit in the shell, let the ball come to you, and it just doesn't do that. So to see Kevin Byard thrive in a new system is awesome to see. So glad to see him get that. So to get into this actual game, Bears 49ers on Sunday night, just got to reemphasize this point because I think it is that important. You beat the Packers on Saturday night. It is a generational win. It's a game that we've talked about. We're all going to remember the rest of our lives. Kind of been the sentiment across the fan base. Unbelievable. The emotions, everything. Great. But job's not finished. We gotta, you gotta finish strong. This is another massive game. You don't like to have two teams I believe they both have 11 wins right now, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
Two 11-win teams facing each other in a regular season is not super common. It doesn't happen that often. I mean, I'd have to look it up. I'm sure it's happened, before many times, but like it's not a common thing. You don't see 11-win teams facing off because it's just the chances are slim. But it's a massive game with a lot of seeding ramifications, right? Because the 49ers are in the mix for the 1 seed, Bears are in the mix for the 1 seed. This is a very important game for the 1 seed. This is a very important game for the NFC West, actually, too. As well as, Bears are magic number 1. You win this game, you check the box of winning your division as well. So it's got a lot of playoff seeding importance to it. So, we talked throughout the year, we've talked about how the Bears' goal was to win 8 or 9 games. Then the Bears' goal was to get in the playoffs, and the Bears' goal was to maybe win steal a wild card game on the road. This season, excuse me, your goals change, they evolve as you play. And now I think you got the 1 seed in front of you. I think that's got to be a goal for sure. Especially it's, Jay, you mentioned at the top, you win 2 games and the Seahawks lose 1 game and you get the 1 seed. Like that's not some crazy series of events you need to have happen. The Seahawks have 2 playoff teams left on their schedule. So one of those is the Carolina Panthers, who are probably not that good of a team, but they are a playoff team nonetheless. So
scrappy home dog.
They really are
scrappy home dog.
Big flight from Seattle to Carolina.
I have a feeling we'll be talking about that game at some point during this show. So anyway, so it needs to be, it can't be overstated how important this game is and how, you really got to believe in the coaching staff and rely on the coaching staff to make sure the players, even though the emotions were crazy on Saturday and everybody was feeling it and it kind of stuck with us until today. Like I'm still kind of feeling it a little bit, but they need to get that out and move on, on to next week. We're on to San Francisco, that type of mentality right now, because this is a very important game. And then with that, will the Bears be able to stop Christian McCaffrey? I think that's like a big question, right? Because Will they be able to get over the emotions of it all? We'll see pretty early in the game. Also, we'll see early in the game, can they stop Christian McCaffrey? Good running backs have had pretty nice games against the Bears this season. The Bears defense has gotten better against the run as the season went on, but they're still not an elite unit against the run. They're not a top 10 unit against the run. There is definitely some they can get beat by the run, and Christian McCaffrey, along with the 49ers offensive line, who is Trent Williams on the offensive line, a couple other dudes. There's some dudes, and they can, our defensive line is not our strength. Our linebackers have missed a lot of time. Seeing Christian McCaffrey on the other side, it scares you a little bit. He's a damn good running back, one of the best in the league, if not the best in the league when he's healthy. So, yeah, I mean, he does it all. He runs, he catches, he's thrown touchdowns, I think. Like, he does it all. So it's a very scary guy to go against. Yeah, go.
Brock Purdy's no slouch either after what he just did to Indianapolis, but this offense runs through Christian McCaffrey and what he does in the pass game and the rush game. And full health. I'm curious as to see what Shanahan's position is for the remainder of the season with him, just because the fact that, they're in contention in the West, but if one of those teams win a game, they're pretty much not getting anywhere near the top. And it's like his value to that team in the playoffs is immeasurable. So I don't think it's going to happen for us, unfortunately. But I do think maybe week 18 he's going to get a rest if they don't have anything on the line for it. But Christian McCaffrey, how do you stop him? That's the question that I have for you, Jay. Like what would be Dennis Allen's game plan in your mind?
Yeah, I mean that's a good one. Before I answer that, and then I'm going to get to something. Before I get to that, a bizarre stat, and he went completely bonkers last night. I think he had like 5.5 yards per carry last night, and he was just all over the place, just feasting on that Monday Night Football game. All that being said, he's averaging 3.7 yards per rush this year. So it's down considerably. And it was actually the 49ers were bottom 5. They threw a stat up there on Monday Night Football, bottom 5 in rushing yards per attempt, which I thought was bizarre because you think about it. I mean, Christian McCaffrey, he just eats, and that's their offense is Christian McCaffrey. But he's so impossibly good as like a check down or wide receiver catching balls out of the backfield too. So to answer that question, Drew, I think you don't have to do anything terribly special to stop Christian McCaffrey this year inside the tackles. I think what you have to just make sure that you focus on is someone better be spying his ass on every play in amongst other zone coverages to make sure if he's leaking out of the backfield and putting a chip block in, and because the fear is when Purdy has time, he's going to have plenty of time. It's okay. The slow developing thing, and Christian McCaffrey on a pass can chip a block and then just spill out of the backfield. And that's what you have to defend as the Bears is making sure that he is truly the center of attention. What could be beneficial for the Bears as well in the pass game is George Kittle went down with an ankle injury. It's too early to know if he's going to play or not, but if he can't play, that would be even more beneficial because those wide receivers aren't really scary. And no one's going to be fearful of that. We have a secondary to match up, but all of the attention has to be on CMC out of the backfield on catching the ball rather than running it, in my opinion.
I do think a little of the decrease just had to do with the Mac Jones starting maybe 7 games.
Yeah. That's fair.
And stacking the box towards the run for a lot of teams. And then Mac Jones was able to get checkdowns and beat teams. But it seems like an immeasurable task, especially for some our linebackers are a little bit healthier, but no linebacking core can keep up with Christian McCaffrey out of the backfield. No. And George Kittle is a massive weapon. Jake Tongas is not a bad tight end either, and can burn you over the middle and in the red zone. So this is a tough one. In my mind. Yeah,
I mean, besides the 2 weapons you just mentioned, you got Juwan Jennings also on the outside, who's a good player too. The one thing that gives me a little bit of hope about this game is that Brock Purdy in his career has an almost 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. So Brock Purdy is not a guy who's he's not super efficient with the ball. He's a good quarterback. He just carved up the Colts on Monday Night Football yesterday. He can throw some interceptions, and that's what this defense specializes in. So I do think that that's something you got to look for. I think if the Bears have 2+ picks, I think they got a legit shot at winning this game, like a pretty good shot at winning this game. If he doesn't throw the interceptions in this game, I think you're going to struggle. I think it's going to be a battle. So I do think that the secondary really has to, as usual, kind of bail out the rest of the defense because they are by far the best unit on our defense. Our secondary is unbelievable, and everybody else, linebacking core injured all season. Now that they're back to healthy, we'll see. And I mean, the D line has just been a non-factor pretty much all season. Yeah. So you got to hope that you can get some wild throws, some errant throws, maybe take advantage of it because Brock Purdy, he does like to put it in tight windows. So the Bears defense, that's what they kind of specialize in, is taking those tight windows and closing them. So got to look for some Brock Purdy interceptions as well.
They did also play the Colts too. So
I mean, the Colts
on a downturn, not an effective defense any longer. Yeah.
Those poor Colts, man. What an absolute brutal season.
Yeah. Oh my God. So it's your nightmare. You know what I mean? To be the best team in the NFL and then just not make the playoffs. That's just the worst. Although technically I think they can still make it, but it's not gonna happen. Let's be honest here. No. So watching them on Monday night was scary because they were so efficient, but I do think that, the Bears are not I think the Bears are like a middle of the pack defense if you look by all metrics except for takeaways where they are the best defense, but all like the yardage metrics and points metrics, they're probably middle of the pack. And it makes you nervous when you see a high powered offense like this coming, especially at their building instead of in Chicago. So we'll see what happens there. There's a lot of guys. Christian McCaffrey, number 1, George Kittle, number 2. Those are the two high, we saw Jordan Love and then eventually Malik Willis just kind of carve up the Bears in that middle area of the field, like that in between the linebacking core and the secondary. And that's kind of where George Kittle eats. So that makes you very nervous as well, especially if they're going to be very preoccupied with McCaffrey out of the backfield. So, we'll see what happens. I mean, Dennis Allen, good defensive coordinator. I think he'll have the guys with a solid game plan. But I think you're going to see a lot of bend but don't break stuff in this game, similar to how we've done it all season, and hope for some takeaways. And it's worked thus far. So why not run it back?
Yeah, it's hard to bank on that, but you know what? It's why not?
Why not? Yeah. All right. And then when you flip the side to the 49ers defense, the 49ers defense is a young unit with a lot of players whose names aren't household names. All their big superstars, Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, out for the season or at least extended amount of time, not going to be playing in this game. So, the Bears should have the 49ers number on defense if you just look at who's playing, but Robert Saleh, defensive coordinator, you can look at his time with the Jets and laugh at it because he was the Jets coach, but he is a good defensive coordinator. He really is. And he's got this young, unknown unit kind of playing pretty well right now. So the defense, they're not going to give up. I mean, when I mentioned at the top of the show that the over-under line was so big, one of the reasons why is because the 49ers defense, while is a effort that has a high motor, the skill is just not there because a lot of their dudes are just out. Like I mentioned, those two guys, those are two big name players. They have other players that are out too that are starters. One thing I want to bring up that I think is definitely worth talking about is that the 49ers are dead last in the NFL with only 18 sacks on the season for the whole team.
Wow. 18
sacks. So to put that into perspective, again, Myles Garrett, who's going for the record, has 22 sacks himself. And also, you hear us, if you listen to this show regularly, shitting on the Bears pass rush constantly. The Bears have 31 sacks on the season, which isn't great, but 18 is a lot less than 31. So just to kind of put the perspective of how bad this 49ers pass rush is, I don't think a pass rush is going to be a problem in this game.
Yeah. And they're not taking the ball away too terribly either. Like I think they have total of
-4 differential.
Yeah, -4 differential. So like this defense is not going to beat you at all.
Unless you let it. Unless you overlook them.
I mean, they're not going to do things that beat
correct.
You. You're going to have unforced errors, which the Bears have shown so far this year, and Caleb has mostly shown he's not going to have those. He's not going to have those off games. Hope that's not a trend that I just jinxed, but they are. It is a very unassuming, which is interesting because that's a Robert Saleh defense and a San Francisco defense that normally is their sort of mantra of they are tough. They kind of can beat you and can help their offense blow out teams. But this year, even though they're only allowing 21 points per game, it seems very much like a very easily beatable defense, and one that I'm leaning towards the over, even though it's 52.5, especially in a night game, just because it seems like their offense has a lot of power and their defense doesn't. So the Bears can score on them. And all it's going to take is with that line, all it's going to take is 24 points. So yeah, they're rushed. They're allowing 102 on the ground. They're allowing 230 in the air. You gotta score at almost every opportunity that you possibly can. Because I don't think you're going to have a lot of time to breathe on the defensive side as the Bears.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you there. I mean, I think one thing you can kind of take a little bit of solace in as well is that Phillip Rivers threw for 277 yards and 2 touchdowns on Monday night against this Colts defense. I mean, I love Phillip Rivers. You know, Phillip Rivers, like my childhood watching Phillip Rivers and all those other quarterbacks of that class. They were awesome, but he is old as fuck, and he has a noodle arm, and he's gained like 40 pounds, and he just should not be thrown for 277 yards against anybody. So I love him, but you know what I mean? Like, not a good look for your defense.
No, honestly, there was a couple plays too where, like, if the noodle arm was just a regular arm, like they would have hung up like more touchdowns. Like he had a couple guys wide open, and he was just like, I fucking can't do it.
Yeah,
you know. He wanted to so bad. He's like, I can't do this. Like, that's all you got. But like,
that's all I got.
The opportunities are there. Is in Caleb's not Phillip Rivers in a good way, you know? At today, right now is you know,
correct.
So,
correct. Yes.
There's going to be some opportunities to put up some points.
Yeah. Agreed. Yes. And that's just the point I'm trying to get across. So, I mean, the 49ers defense is gettable. The big thing, and that's why I spent more time on it, is just how are you going to stop this offense? The answer might be just score more points than them.
Yeah.
Clock.
The answer might be run the ball. Run the ball.
Yeah. Absolutely dominate. I mean, if you're going to do it, you got to do it like the Eagles game. Yeah. Absolutely chunk yardage, 14 play drives, kind of like how Green Bay did to us last week.
Yeah.
Dictate that pace, and those are the type of games that are going to come down to last possession or a one score game down at the end that you can definitely have swung our way all year.
Yeah. The absolute worst thing the Bears offense can do, because again, Jay or Drew, you mentioned it, like Caleb has been so good about protecting the ball and not turning the ball over this season. That's not even really a concern of mine right now. And I'm not worried. I trust that he will not put the ball in harm's way. The one thing you can't have is you cannot have these 3 straight incompletion 3-and-outs, right? That is kind of where you're in dangerous territory. When you have the ball for less than 45 seconds for a possession and then you got to punt it back to him, like that is not, you can't have that. If you're going to go 3-and-out, you got to at least take a couple minutes off the clock with the running game so that, you just can't have those 30-second, 45-second possessions in the game clock. So that's kind of what I'm worried about is, I I do think that it's like one of the first conversations Ben Johnson had with Caleb when he first came over here was like, "Hey, just so you know, we're not going to turn the ball over." I didn't hear this, but I heard something. Who said it? Somebody. It was a podcast I was listening to. Somebody said that Ben Johnson has like a we don't throw 50-50 balls philosophy because 50-50 balls can get intercepted. And that's great because you don't want, but you also, I don't know, you also don't want your quarterback to always throw the ball away when it's not there because sometimes you got to kind of force it. But it's a slippery slope because you force it, you throw interceptions, but if you don't force it, you throw the ball away and you have 3 and outs that last 25 seconds and you punt the ball with like no clock off. So all I'm trying to say is that avoid that, just run the ball, make it super manageable third downs. Let's, keep penalties at a minimum and let's just keep it third and medium, third and manageable. And let's pick them up. That's all. I mean, that's really the best way to do this is to keep the clock running, keep the Niners offense off the field, sustain drives.
Yeah. Simply put.
Well said.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else you guys want to talk through, like game plan wise, or things that scare you about the 49ers, or things you think the Bears can exploit about the 49ers? Anything of that regard? I haven't watched a lot of 49ers this year, so I don't really know them super well.
Yeah. I've watched a decent amount. I've had, CMC in a couple of leagues, so I've been pretty keen on that.
Yeah.
Big picture, and not even X's and O's, but like the defense is okay. And like even I don't even know how to explain what the hell's been going on, but like I just feel like the 49ers, and people are probably saying this on 49ers podcast about the Bears in this matchup, but like I feel like the 49ers are a bit of a fraud this year. Like I feel like their record is they're just not as good as what the record is showing. And I don't have any really statistical evidence to back that up other than from what I've seen of them. And maybe it was because Mac Jones was starting and they still were winning. And I'm just like, I just don't have the fear in the 49ers that I probably should have, especially when we're traveling their territory. I don't think that winning this is unachievable by any means. And in fact, I feel good. I feel like our offense is going to dictate the entire pace of this game. And I think it's going to put them on their heels quickly because I'm not scared at all of this defense. And I love Saleh. I actually really do. I was cheering for him in New York. Like, I think he's a cool dude. And I think he gets a lot of people to play a lot better than what they are. I just don't think they have talent on that defense. And he's doing an immaculate job of covering for that. They just don't have the talent. And they're going to play a big boy team and a big boy offensive line that I think could really put them into the ground. So I don't know. I'm planting a flag in the ground that says I think that the 49ers are frauds, and I'm not scared of them.
Well, no. Jay, I'll back you up here because they have only, out of their 11 wins, they've only beat 3 teams with winning records, and 2 of them were in their division of Seattle and Los Angeles. And the only other team they beat with a winning record was the team they just beat last week in Indianapolis. Other wins that they have are teams like Tennessee, Cleveland, Carolina actually is one, but Arizona twice, New York Giants, Atlanta, Arizona again, New Orleans. Like not an opposing, like a very intimidating list of wins. Yes, they play in a very good division, but they've split against the winning teams in their division. And I as much as it scares me going to a West Coast team on a Sunday night and a team that has some offensive powerhouse weapons, I don't think we're not ready for this matchup to swing in our favor at all.
Yeah, no, I agree with you guys 100%. The defense is just, there's nothing like, I think when I look at a team, what scares me the most is seeing like a defense with a dominant pass rusher or just a really solid defense. That's what makes me the most nervous. And this is not that, right? And this, compared to the last 3 games, we played the Packers twice. We played the Browns. Those are two teams that have pretty good defensive units. So to go against a team like this, it kind of, hopefully they've been like a little more battle hardened and they're ready to go against a bad defense and they're a little more prepared for a bad defense. And it should look smooth. It should look smooth in this game for the Bears offense. The Bears defense makes me nervous against the 49ers because the 49ers can put up, 40 points and not be super, and it was not unreasonable to think that could happen. So it makes me nervous a little bit, but yeah, I agree with you guys overall.
Yeah.
When I look at this game, it's not like the Packers game last week. It's not, it's not the Eagles game. It's like, this is a different thing altogether. So I think this is a very winnable game for the Bears. And Vegas believes that too. Again, 49ers are 3-point favorites at home. That's right where it's like, they're same level. That's fair. I think that makes sense.
But it's still another
I
great
think that's
test.
a fair line. I think it's a good line.
Yeah. Another great test for the Bears going into the playoffs, being eligible for the playoffs, that you get yet another playoff team to line up against in, what is that, 3 of the last 4 weeks? Mm-hmm. 4 of the last 5. So and Detroit will probably more than likely be out next week after this one. But yeah, it's just great to test our mettle late in the season and keep preparing for teams that are going to have that similar drive towards the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. One fun thing I wanted to call out before we've been doing this the last few weeks and it's a lot of fun. And Jay, I'm glad you did it now specifically because this is actually a fun one to talk about. Uni Watch this week. Bears will be in their classic away white shirts, navy pants, navy helmet. 49ers are throwing on their 90s throwbacks. Think like Steve Young, Jerry Rice, maybe T.O. towards the beginning of his career with those, very similar to their usual uniforms, but they have like that slight black like shadowing effect on the numbers and stuff like that. Yeah. So that's what they'll be wearing on Sunday night, which rocks. That's an elite uniform matchup, classic Bears, classic Niners. This is going to feel like a mid 80s, playoff game. So that's pretty cool. I think that rocks.
That is very cool. Those jerseys are pretty sick though. And it is just a slight deviation, but like you can tell it's like it puts you back in the early Madden days,
Oh yeah. The 49ers were a big early Madden team.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Steve Young slinging it around. He was like the fastest quarterback in the league back then. And Randy Moss, T.O. and Jerry Rice on the those receivers. Jesus. Crazy. But so yeah, that's a fun one. I'm looking forward to that. That's always good. The 49ers have such a great stable of uniforms. I don't think I've ever seen the 49ers come out and have like a bad uniform. The 49ers have great uniforms, so
I do.
it's awesome. They'll also be wearing white pants, which I thought was weird because usually they wear like the gold pants with their home uniforms.
Oh, weird.
They'll be wearing white pants with these. So
okay,
yeah. But the classic gold helmet, though, or whatever color you want to call that, I think it's gold. But anyway, in terms of injuries, well, we got Rome and we got Luther that didn't play this week. Since they're playing a Sunday night game and we're recording early on a Tuesday this week, there are no injury reports to speak of. So I have no idea what's going on at Hallis Hall this week. But I will tell you that I hope Rome Odunze and Luther Burden play this week. I don't know what the probability of that is. I know Luther Burden was practicing in a limited capacity last week, so you got to imagine he's probably getting close to going. I believe Rome did not participate all week, so not really sure where that is right now, but hopefully we can get one, if not both of those guys back, because the offense just looks better with those guys out there, especially Luther Burden lately.
Yeah, yes. I mean, the more weapons, the better.
Yeah, right.
Clearly.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's nice to see guys like Jade Walker, step up last week, and that there's a surplus of those guys out there for us, which is a change. But yeah, nothing compares to Rome being on the field when healthy and Luther just looking great lately. Yeah. So need those back for the playoffs for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I was a little surprised. I mean, Drew, I'm sure we'll touch on this eventually, but I was a little surprised that Colson Loveland wasn't used more in this game against the Packers. I definitely thought that he was going to be the go-to guy. Didn't really feel, I mean, I guess DJ, like he had the big touchdown, but besides that, he kind of had a quiet-ish game. I think he ended with like under 100 yards, and that touchdown was 46 yards. So, most of his yards came on that touchdown. So they just kind of spread the ball around. Jade, he had that touchdown. Cole Kmet had some catches, but Zacchaeus, had a big drop too.
Zacchaeus has been tough lately.
Yeah, he has been. It almost just feels like he just does. He can't, because I feel like when we play in warm games or inside, like he's fine, but whenever it's an outside game and it's kind of cold, I don't know, maybe it's just like a cold thing. I don't know, but it just feels like one of the positive things about him is that I thought he had good hands coming into the season, and I feel like he's got more big drops than anybody on the Bears.
Right.
So
I don't think he can catch Caleb's fastball. I just
that might be it.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, who had he have played with before? Kirk Cousins and
Noodle Arm,
Jaden Daniels last year, maybe.
Trying to look him up right now
because he was on.
So he was on. God damn, let's see his career.
Well, you guys are looking that up though.
Caleb throws a different ball. He really does.
Yeah.
He rips it. So
he does rip it. But when I think of Zacchaeus, I just think of a lot of drops, and it's been a lot of drops right in the hands, and it's like, oof.
Yeah. So Zacchaeus, he came up with it. He came up with Atlanta in 2019, which I'm pretty sure was the like Desmond Ridder era. I don't think. I guess it was Matt Ryan too for a little bit.
Still
but
doesn't rip
nothing really there. He went to Philly for a year with Jalen Hurts, and then he had Jaden Daniels last season. So I don't think really any of those guys throw the fastball that Caleb does. So there might be some merit to that. I could see that.
Yeah.
All right. I put together this little fun section. Jay, you kind of recapped it nicely off the top, but kind of what are we rooting for this week besides the Bears, right? What things, like what's out there for the Bears, and what do we need to happen to get those things? So Jay, you mentioned this off the top. The magic number is down to 1 for the NFC North. So any win or Packers loss moving forward in the last 2 weeks will give the Bears the NFC North. Packers have a tough game, possibly, or an easy game. Who knows? Baltimore, they're the weirdest team of the NFL. Baltimore's coming to town on Saturday for the Packers. So we will know by kickoff for the Bears game whether we've won the division or not. So that's kind of cool. They also have the Vikings next week. So this might be our best chance at getting it that way, but I also have confidence the Bears will win one of their last 2 games too. So not worried about that. Just want to call out that there is magic numbers down to 1. So that's really cool. So Saturday night, we're going to be rooting for the Ravens just to get that off the way. Check that list off.
Yes.
And then for the number 2 seed, only competition there would be Philadelphia, or if the unlikely event where the Packers came back and won the division, that would be, they would also be, actually they're out of the running for that, I think. But regardless, to get the 2 seed, all you got to do is win your division and also win one more game or lose a game, because I believe they have a magic number of 1 against the Eagles as well.
They do. Yep.
So obviously an Eagles loss wouldn't guarantee the Bears a 2 seed, because they would still need to win their division. But a Bears win gets them a 1 or a 2 seed and the division. So let's just go out there and win the damn game. So that way we can guarantee ourselves a 2 seed at the worst and a division championship. And then for the 1 seed, like we mentioned before, all you need to do is win both your last games and have Seattle lose one of their last 2. So Carolina or San Francisco, both on the road. One's a divisional rival. One is traveling about as far across the country as you can travel, West Coast to East Coast, against a division leader who beat the Rams, who is right there with the Seahawks on top of the NFC West. So I think there's a decent, I mean, we mentioned this at the top, but this isn't like some far-fetched scenario. Like we could be looking at a 1 seed in a couple weeks.
It's wild to think about that.
Yeah.
I think that, you know what's nice, if we want to just talk about like reality and what's realistically possible, the 2 seed is right there. I mean, that is just low hanging fruit, and a 2 seed to have home games until the NFC Championship game locked in and guaranteed. I mean, if you can play your playoff games at home, especially in Chicago, huge. And that's very, very achievable. So, you know, in answering the question, what's my goal? The 1 seed's a cherry on top. God, that's awesome. But get the 2 seed. Get the 2 seed, clinch home field for at least 2 games, and who knows, right? Who the hell knows? And I think that's, for me, that's the goal. Win the North.
Win the North. Number 1 for me. Put the stamp on something that you probably didn't have as your number 1 goal this year. It was mid-wins. Eric just asked a great question that I wanted to throw to you guys too. If the Bears are the 2 seed, who do you want to play? Eric, I think it's a little, if the Bears get the 2 seed, I think it's a little less likely to get anybody other than Detroit or Green Bay. I think there's a lot of things that have to happen in the other games for teams to drop, and a lot of teams that are good to drop 2 games at least. So out of those 2, who would I rather play? I don't know, just because we got to see Detroit at Chicago in week 18. But boy, would it be fitting to have Green Bay come back and settle a rubber match with them in Chicago for one more game. And I mean, I think that would be just poetic for this season for me. Do I want to see it? Probably not. I'd rather your route, but I think that would be pretty fucking fun for this season.
Yeah, I think we can all agree. No one wants to see Matt Stafford and the Rams in that game. Like if they somehow fell to the 7th seed, that would be catastrophic for anyone holding the 2 seed, because you have a Hall of Fame quarterback and an elite coach and an elite team. I want the Packers. I want nuts on the table. I want the highest of high stakes for everybody, because it would just, I mean, the anticipation of that, it's everything. Everything's on the line. And I truly believe, especially at home in a playoff atmosphere, the Bears have the edge, and it could be everything that we've ever wanted for the last 30 years of our lives. To be able to say, listen, you thought the last game was big? This is the big kahuna, and let's show up and see who's got it. And I think I want that. I think maybe it's a coin flip, but I want the ability to drag nuts on faces of Packers fans, because we deserve it. So
he wants Holyfield. Give him
I do.
I think Eric could read I don't think I was having a good poker face. I think Eric read me like a book. I mean, the idea of the Packers, and I know that this is like, if getting the 2 seed, you pretty much have it locked in unless some crazy stuff happens the last 2 weeks that you're playing the Packers. Like, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion. The Packers are down 2. They have 9 wins, and the 6th seed has 11 wins. So they have to lose out, and the Packers have to win out. So odds are Packers are going to be the 7th seed in this playoffs. And odds are right now the Bears are going to be the 2 seed in this playoff. So that's probably what's going to happen. And it is, I mean, it's scary, right? I wish they could reseed it and play the worst record and play the Panthers or the Bucks. That would be sick. But unfortunately, that's not how it works. And we're going to play. I mean, if right now it looks like the Bears and Packers are on a collision course for the first round of the playoffs, which is both incredibly exciting and something you look forward to, and just kind of take a hit of what we felt Saturday and multiply it by 10.
Yeah.
Or I mean, I remember the pit I had in my stomach in 2010 after losing the NFC Championship game for the entire next 3 months. So yeah, I mean, it's with a playoff game, it's the ultimate risk reward. So I want the Packers. I do. I mean, I want the Packers because at any point, every team we're going to play is going to be tough. I'd think best case scenario for me in terms of what's the easiest path to the Super Bowl, somehow the Seahawks fall to the 7th seed and you're playing against Sam Darnold at home. I think that would feel good, but I don't even know if that's mathematically possible at this point. So it's looking like Packers. I'll say bring on the Packers, and I'm going to get up for that game. Like, there's no doubt about that. It's a little scary just because, again, hate to bring up this analogy or this metaphor over and over again, but the dog and the rolled up newspaper has just like me with the Packers. It's just very scary. But like beating the Packers in the playoffs and taking the rubber match and kind of Ben Johnson putting his foot in the ground saying, this is mine now, like, get out of here, Packers. I think that would be awesome. And the feeling would be awesome. And I think that would be worth it. So yeah, bring on the Packers. Let's go.
And I want to stay in that mentality, Nick. I'm not trying to draw us anywhere else, but in my mind too, I could justify this season as getting into the playoffs as a win, and losing against the Packers. It's a game. It's a team ahead of schedule for me,
Right.
And I do want all of this to have success. Team of Destiny, Super Bowl. I want to feel a little soupy. Everybody, I do want to feel that, but I do think we're ahead of schedule. So if that was to come about, everything to me is then a bonus. And losing the Packers, as long as it's a good game, yeah, that would suck to lose your rivals. It fucking hurt. But at the same time, I could justify it by saying, not there just yet, and we are still competing with that team season in, season out.
It's a nothing to lose situation.
Correct. Yeah, we're back to that.
House money.
Yeah. I mean, it would be a nothing to lose situation in any matchup other than the Packers, because there's a lot to lose against the Packers. It's just that there is. I'm telling you, there is. Like the feeling of losing a playoff game to the Packers, whether it's a blowout or a 1-score game or whatever, the feeling of losing to the Packers is different than losing to anybody else.
Yeah, you won't be able to not hear about it till the next season, all that shit. But I'd be able to tune it out to say, in my mind, I'd be able to tune it out and say, okay, yeah, guess what? We're building on something. Like the Packers they went all in with a move to try to make the Super Bowl. They're scratching and clawing right now to get into the fucking playoffs. Yeah. So like, yeah, I mean, if it does go down to that, which I know it's not going to, the Bears will beat the Packers. They will.
Yeah.
But
they will.
Yeah, I man, just bring it on. Let's get into it. Skip ahead 2 weeks and let's see that matchup.
Yeah.
While we're on the fuck the Packers kind of theme, and as we always should be,
always,
right?
yeah. Yep.
You know who has no first round picks in the next 2 years? The Packers. It's a fantastic spot to be in, boys. It really is.
Yeah. Also, the Packers didn't have a first round pick this year, if you think about it. Matthew Golden's been fucking ass.
Okay, yeah. I was like, I see what you're saying.
Remember when all Packers fans were like, "Oh, finally a wide receiver. We drafted one." Dude sucks. He sucks. Horrible.
I think he's like 5th or 6th on their team in like receiving yards and catches. He's not good.
They're not good.
He's not good.
I think he's had more rushing attempts than probably targets.
I don't think he scored a touchdown. I don't think he scored a touchdown this year. I think Caleb might have more receiving touchdowns than he does.
I think that's probably true.
All
right, Jeff. Also, Jeff has been trolling all week. Can I put something to bed with you guys, and I just have to have it out there and said, this whole mentality of Malik Willis playing well and thus he's better than Jordan Love or better fit for Jordan Love for the Green Bay Packers than Jordan Love because Jordan Love's contract. That's not a thing, guys. Jordan Love is better than Malik Willis. He will always be better than Malik Willis. Oh, stop. No, Jay, don't give me that.
I don't think Jordan Love's good.
I don't think Jordan Love's good, but I don't think Malik Willis is good either. Yes, he had a good game and he dictated the game very well against the Bears and slotted in because the game plan wasn't for Malik Willis. It was for Jordan Love.
Well,
that's kind of more. I feel like that's more in the case of Malik Willis is better because the game plan wasn't for him. If you make a game plan for Malik Willis, I think it's. I don't know. I don't want to turn this into a
Malik
Packers
Willis
podcast.
had 4 seasons in which game plans were slotted for him, and it relegated him to a backup and also a bust of a pick. So, yeah, let's
Malik Willis was on the Titans, a really, really bad Titans team.
I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit who he got drafted to. If you're good and you're talented and you can shine, you will.
I mean, this is the guy. You're the guy who said 2 weeks ago that Cam Ward is like a good quarterback, even though his stats are ass right now. He's on the Titans. It's like it's like the same thing.
Yeah, Malik Willis didn't play until like year 2, and then when he came in year 2, he was still ass. If Cam Ward sucks, that's my bad of calling that. But I think Cam Ward has plenty of talent and is going to be a good quarterback in this league and will not be relegated to a bench spot behind a guy like Jordan Love. Somebody else will take a flyer on him if it doesn't work out in Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, it's probably not the best comparison. Cam Ward was the number 1 overall pick, and Malik Willis is like a 2nd round pick or 3rd round pick or something like that. So yeah, it's probably not a great comparison. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think either of them are good quarterbacks. I think that Matt LaFleur is a really good offensive mind, and his scheme just gets people open. And I've never seen a throw from Jordan. Like, I've watched that Caleb Williams throw to DJ Moore a billion times this week. I've never seen Jordan Love throw a ball like that. Never. You know, like that. Every touchdown he has, the guy's wide open or makes an unbelievable catch. I don't know. At least the ones against the Bears.
I'm firmly
Here was a throw to
ass camp.
Throw in the first game to Christian Watson that I feel like was a very good throw for a touchdown.
I think LaFleur is very underrated in the fact that he can make, top, 20 quarterback, 15 quarterback look like a top 5 and beat an MVP race. And I think that's Jordan Love.
Yeah. And I'll say really the one thing that kind of took us in this direction, I do want to make sure we circle back to this. I think it's worth talking about. Matthew Golden on the season has 27 catches for 341 yards and 0 touchdowns. So 1st round pick.
Ass
juice. Yeah. Yep.
And really quickly, I have to address Jeff here because he's chatting. I never said Jordan Love was good. I said he was better than Malik Willis, and he is a better option than Malik Willis. So if you want to go back in the receipts, Jeff, go ahead and find them. But I never said that he was good or a top 10 quarterback or never put a number to it. I do not think that Malik Willis is anywhere near his echelon of quarterback right now in the NFL. So there. Done.
I think that's probably a fair take. Like I'm not saying that Malik Willis is better than Jordan Love. I just don't think Jordan Love's great or good. Yeah. I also want Packers fans, like the Bears fans, some Bears fans were last year, calling him like that Tyson Bagent guy should be the quarterback for the Bears. And I want Bob and Sheboygan 12 highlights deep calling his radio station saying, Malik, I can't do a Sheboygan, I can't do the accent, so my bad. Yeah. Imagine the accent saying, drunken Wisconsin man saying, Malik Willis should be the quarterback.
Bob from Kenosha.
There you go.
The game had a couple too many Millers. And,
this just sounds Chicago. I just like
there it is.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. I'll stop that. I'll stop for everyone's benefit there.
I just like the part of the show where Drew fights someone in the chat. I want to bring that segment because I want to make that a recurring segment.
Gloves off. That's our next section next year. Gloves off with Drew. Yeah.
Put up your dukes, man. I ain't got no dukes. Deep cut there. So it's like a lot I've written down. Again, no injury report for this week yet. We do have Tremaine Edmonds came back last week. We didn't really touch on that much during the review show. I don't know how we missed that. I mean, just there's a lot to talk about.
We were on Cloud 9.
We were. Yep. Still am. Tremaine Edmonds returned from IR. He played pretty well. I mean, nothing really jumped out. I mean, the defense didn't look great most of the game. I think that a lot of rust. I think he'll be back in form. And then, Rome and Luther Burden need to get them back. Don't really know much about that until the injury report comes out tomorrow, but hopefully they are both good to go. And the 49ers injury report, I don't know anything about. I know that their 2 best players on defense aren't playing, and besides that, I know nothing. So, I don't know. Bears, 49ers, and throw in some Packers. Anybody else got anything they want to talk about?
The only weird thing that I often think about these weeks is, what does your travel look like on Christmas week? Like, you've got Wednesday, Thursday. You're probably traveling out on Friday to get acclimated Friday evening / into Saturday. I will say there's a very interesting, it's been shared around a lot over the past couple of weeks of a research of a study that a study done about West Coast night games and how it always favors the West Coast because their bodies are always acclimated to whatever is being played. Okay. Just like on the East Coast for day games, when a West Coast team has to travel, East Coast teams should be favored because of that stuff. Don't look too much into shit like that. Sometimes, like, you got to look at the teams that are playing too.
Right.
But it just always gets me curious about like what the travel looks like, especially with a holiday on Thursday and what they're going out and who's spending time with family and everything like that. But
no, those are great points, Drew. And the Bears have the bummer slate for that because it's a 9:15 start local time for the Bears in a primetime game going to the West Coast. And that's statistically, I think you shared that. I think it's like 37% of covering the spread when you're doing East or Central to West Coast move on a primetime game because you're just starting at either 9:15 or 10:15, and it's not peak for the body in the sleep regimen. So we'll see.
Yeah, Eric does bring up a good point in the chat, though. Bears played on Saturday, 49ers played on Monday, get extra 2 days of rest. So
great point.
Does that equal each other out a little bit? I'm not a, I don't fucking know. I'm not a sleep expert. I don't know any of that stuff, but it doesn't hurt. I can tell you that. Like, it might come close to balancing it out a little bit. So yeah, I mean, who knows? I do think there is some merit to like an East Coast or a Midwest team going West Coast for a night game because you're starting the game at 9:15, late, getting to bed. Like, by the time the game's over, professional athletes probably going to bed most nights. I would imagine they probably get their full 8 hours most nights. So it's definitely something worth talking about. But I do think the extra 2 days rest is going to help too, especially because 49ers are pretty banged up. So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we will.
We will see. We will see. I'm glad you brought that up. That's a good thing to talk about. Anything else Bears 49ers related before we get into some other segments?
I'm good on my end.
Good.
All right. Well, Drew, I'm going to pass the torch over to you and you can take us to the betting and fantasy corner.
Yeah. Let's get into the BQBFC. So, as usual, the BQBFC is brought to you by Chuck's Southern Comforts Buffet on Cass, just off of 55 in Darien. Chuck's is great food and drink specials for every day of the week and for Bears games especially. You can find a link to those and their menu in our descriptions and bios on our socials. $3 PBRs, $5 Yingling pints, and more for all of those specials. With a wide open layout for bar patrons, including slots, seated dinner guests, and even private event spaces, Chuck's is everything you need for your next outing. So get on down there and tell them you boys sent you. Maybe we'll even see you for a Bears game or two this year. And I believe we are coming down to a gift certificate from Chuck's to one of our winners, or I could be lying, Jay.
We're going to get some good stuff out there.
We'll have stuff. We're
going to get some good stuff out there.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But Guillotine League, 18 weeks strong, coming down to the final week here. This is week 17. 18 teams come down to week 17. We have 2 teams left. We have Team Eric and Team Tom. Well done, gentlemen. Your teams are truly juggernauts. Mark Noth eliminated in 3rd place. Valiant effort there. this is like interesting to me right now, because if I was in this spot talking about this, like, what do you tinker with? Like, how do you tinker? Like, you're clearly, there are just so many pristine players out there, and how much do you tinker, or do you like I said last week, do you dance with the girl that you brought to there? I don't know, Nick. There's a lot of players available out there still. Like, if it's you in this spot as Eric or Tom, are you really getting down to the nitty gritty of things and like picking up, dropping up to the snaps, or are you just kind of being like, you know what, I have the team that I've gotten set, I've had it well drawn up? Or talk to me. Well,
I mean, when it comes to, like, I listed on here some of the players that are available, and I don't need to rattle through this whole list, but some of the ones, like, you got Dak Prescott, who's the number one fantasy player in fantasy sports this year. No running backs, they're okay. Nothing really jumps. I mean, maybe matchup specific, you might have some good stuff, but CeeDee Lamb's out there, T. Higgins is out there, Tet McMillan's out there. The tight ends, holy shit, there are some tight ends out there. Brock Bowers, Trey McBride, one of those two guys. I'm jumping on probably Trey McBride. They have a very plus matchup this week specifically. They're playing the Bengals, who have the worst defense in the NFL. So I mean, Trey McBride is definitely top of my waiver priority going into this week, regardless of what I have at tight end, just because I view him as the number one overall tight end in the game this week. So he jumps out at me. Brock Bowers, it depends on what I got on my roster already, but I would definitely heavily consider that. CeeDee Lamb is another guy who I'm probably jumping on, assuming he's fully healthy, and I don't really know much about the Cowboys and if he's playing or not, but he'd probably be up on my list. But Trey McBride, I see that on there, and that is something that I'm very interested in.
Okay. Jay, you were the furthest reaching member of the Barely Qualified podcast here. What's your thoughts? You tinkering through this, or are you just kind of, I'm going to set it and forget it, and I'm not going to try to do too much because that could affect what my guys bring out to the table?
I wish I had something different to say than Nick, but I don't. It's for me, from this list, it's Trey McBride. Everything's the entire budget's on Trey against the Bengals. These guys, Eric and Tom, have fantastic teams. They're going to be fine with that. Yeah. However they want to do it. I mean, this is truly where you can and probably should tinker. I would listen. I want the horsepower. I want the names. I don't care about the matchup. We're at a point where you're able to start top 5 guys at every position. So just, I would say, keep it simple and do it. But Trey McBride is the most important player on waivers right now, and you have to get him on your team, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I will say, looking at it, not that we're coaching you up, Eric, just because you're in the chat. The man does have $1 of fab versus Tom's $0 of fab. So pretty much is picking any player that is out there on the wire right now, and then placing any other free agencies on there. But listen, it's only a four bench spot deep. So as many transactions as you do, they better make it. They better make sense.
Yeah,
but
throw a little wrench in it though. I'm looking at. I didn't want to give specific, like, drop this guy, pick that stuff advice, but I am looking at Eric's bench and Eric's team. He has an interesting scenario where he is riding the Kyle Pitts train right now. It's been very hot lately. So that's I don't know. I think I would probably still go Trey McBride, but I'm also the guy that got eliminated like a month and a half ago. You know what I mean? So
you got to block. You got to block though. Sometimes you just got to block.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm sure whatever.
On top of we're not gonna over manage.
Yeah, you're right.
But no, hey, I was looking at it. Saquon Barkley hadn't been doing shit, so like he's on there. It's crazy to see though in a 2-team matchup right now. This man has James Cook, Saquon Barkley, Bijan, and Christian McCaffrey as his running. Like, I mean,
there it is. There's a reason you're in the finals.
Yeah, and I'm sure Tom has Jahmyr Gibbs, the other the other high valued, let's see, hold on.
He's got
Jahmyr Gibbs, Devon
Jahmyr-
Chain. Yep. Jonathan
Yep.
Taylor. Yeah, that
Wow.
makes sense.
So, I mean, that's
Chase Brown.
That's going to do it.
That's going to do it for you.
Yeah. No, this is going to be a high scoring, fun matchup to watch.
Who are
who's
the
the money-
quarterbacks right now? I got to assume it's Josh Allen and
So you
Josh
got,
Allen and Drake May right now.
oh, interesting.
which are they? They're not going head to head this week. Never mind. That would have been fun, but shit, I was about to look something up.
I don't know. Hey, pick up Trey McBride and pick up Jacoby Brissett and throw him in there.
Dude,
Let him ball. That dude balls.
Jacoby Brissett has been a fantasy. Someone picked him up off the street in like week 11 and has just dominated their league and is like in the championship this week.
yeah.
Just in a regular league. But
I always like starting guys that are still in a playoff, like have meaningful games to play too.
right.
And honestly, if you want to get super fucking nerdy, you look at what their contractual incentives are and how close people are.
Yeah, that's
And
it.
especially in stinker games, that does mean a lot to a lot of players. Obviously, it's money, so yeah, it means a lot.
Yep.
Goes without saying. And there's a little fantasy hack to think about too, because you'd be surprised you wouldn't be surprised, but that does impact a lot of big fantasy performances in meaningless games on paper.
Yes. It's definitely something that we know about and it exists, but it is easy to forget about that in these like week 16, week 17, week 18 stinker games. Yeah, that's definitely something worth looking into for sure.
Yeah.
All right. That's going to go with the Guillotine League. We look forward to Eric and Tom battling it out this week and getting the first trophy of the Guillotine League. Jay, I'm going to kick it to you to go through the next couple down to the 3-man weave.
Fantastic. I want to say too, we were talking about cool stuff that we're giving out. We are going to have some prize packages, gift certificates, maybe even some merch and things of that nature. But you are also going to receive the first ever barely qualified fantasy guillotine championship trophy. So there is some pride and some hardware to be played for as well. So good luck. 2 gladiators gladiating it out.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Some say the hardest trophy in sports to win. So
I've heard that too. Yeah, it was hard to win something that didn't exist 2 seconds ago. But
yes.
But no, let's take a look at the fantasy pick'em. Last week we actually had a more respectable week, which is awesome. I feel like we haven't all been over the 60-point mark, maybe all season. So it was nice to see that kind of click to a certain degree. I can boast a little bit that I didn't come in dead last for a week, even though it was by a hair. Drew put up 60.3. I put up 60.6. And Nick was doing Nick things again, putting up 85.86. But the season's not over. It's a 2-man horse. Wow. It's a 2-man horse, dude. Halloween mythology and shit. What? Yeah, Freudian slip would be weird. What the hell what's in my internet search history? Fuck. Let me start that over in. 2-man race is a 2-horse race. Something. It's between Nick and Drew. Let's go there.
2-man horse. That's a good one.
But Nick's leading the pack at 996.82 points. Drew's lagging behind a little bit, but still doable. We got weeks left in the season still. 928.62 and then 753.44. Cough, cough. Who did well last week? Drew had a Drake May, O'Marion Hampton, AJ Brown put up some respectable points. Jaden Reed didn't do so hot, but that's a good thing because he was on the Packers, so it was needed. Justin Herbert kind of carried my team, got just about half of it, 30 points. Brees Hall didn't do so much. Nico Collins didn't do so much. And Kyle Pitts, Nick, you alluded to, was still doing all right with 15. And then Nick put up the juggernaut week. Joe Burrow, close to 30. Chris Olave have a day, 31.8.
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor kind of did okay, for all things considered, 15 points. And then Jalen Waddle with 9.7. So We'll turn our attention into week 17. Nick, you're going to lead us off. Drew, you're going to go second, and I will wrap us around. So good luck. We're getting into that tough sledding area where a lot of players have been used. So we might have to scrap something together. I have a feeling Nick has probably left a couple of golden gooses left in the pile. But Nick, go ahead and start us off.
Yeah, Jay, that was the plan. And I do have a big name here that I'm going to throw out there. I'm not as excited about it as I normally would be in this situation, but I'm taking Justin Jefferson as my wide receiver. Obviously, big name, talk about as one of the top 2, 3, maybe the number 1 receiver coming into the season. Due to bad quarterback play, has just had an awful year. So we'll see. I hope that Max Brosmer can find him a little bit.
Man, Max.
I need to play him at some point. They got a good match against the Lions this week. I'm going to throw him out there. He could go off for 3 touchdowns in this game because he's that good, but also Max Brosmer. So probably not. But I'm going to go with Justin Jefferson here.
Cool. Hey, the Lions, the matchup is actually pretty good. Yeah. It's the yin and the yang of good matchup against, depleted Lions defense, and the yang being Max Brosmer. We'll see what happens. Yeah,
we'll see
what happens. Yeah.
All about plus matchups this week, but a kind of no-brainer for me. Man scored 3 touchdowns in 1 quarter last week. It's going to be Chase Brown. So I'm pretty sure I have him left. I'm scrolling hard to make sure I do.
Yep. Control F.
Yep. You can also type his name and it'll autofill if it's.
Yep. I've got him left. So
you got him. You're good.
Search and tell me you don't have him. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Chase Brown. He's been scoring a lot, and the Bengals will score, but they're poo. So
yeah, no, I mean they're playing the Cardinals too. So
yeah, I think we'll talk about that game later too.
I think so. Yeah, I think we are.
Yeah.
All right. I'll wrap us around here. I'm going to take a quarterback first. Trevor Lawrence against Indianapolis. I don't know why. I don't think he's great, but he's just been putting up monster fantasy numbers. Brock Purdy just did the Colts in too, so we'll see if that remains. But also a big game for the Jags, big game for the Colts too. So people are going to be playing. I'm going to take Lawrence, see if we can ride the hot hand there.
Love the pick.
Yeah,
thank you. I'm gonna wrap it around too. I'm gonna take Bucky Irving at Miami again. Miami, I think, is just everything's kind of done. And Ewers being the quarterback, Tua's getting benched. I don't think they have much to play for. Whereas the Bucs are fighting for their playoff lives, so it's kind of a must-win. I think that offense is going to show up, and I think Bucky's going to be kind of the driving force of, hey, let's get back to just running the damn football. All right, when the Bucs were doing well early in the season, Baker was going crazy, but Bucky in the running game was doing things too. So I think they kind of get back to the basics in a plus matchup against Miami there.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go running back in the flex here, and I'm in between 2. I'm trying to read Nick here. Which one like on the depth chart list I should go with, but I think I'm just gonna go and hope that the running back in front of him does not play. So I'm going with Ramondre Stevenson because I believe Travion is going to go into concussion protocol all week and probably not play. I think they'll be protective against that because they are in the playoffs. So that's what I'm going with.
And I believe they're playing the Jets, correct?
Yeah. Jets.
Yeah. So that could be feast week for Ramondre, honestly. Yeah. And I don't know, that hit that Travion took, that was a big one on the back of the dome. So I can't imagine he's
pretty nasty.
That was a pretty nasty one.
Yeah. Yeah. Drew, you were reading, you and I heard you were taking a second running back and made me a little scared because Chase Brown was one of the 2 running backs I had written down. So I was very nervous you were going to take my other running back, but you didn't. So I'm just going to take James Cook right here as my running back.
I didn't have him left. Yeah, there's no way, but let him feast. He's cooking for you.
Yeah. I think I haven't taken him yet. Have I taken him yet?
Oh, yeah, you did take James
God
Cook.
damn it. All right, well, then I'm going to pick a quarterback here. I'm going to go with Bo Nix as my quarterback.
Mm. Mm.
And then I'm going to also take a wide receiver in my flex. I'm going to take Steph Diggs. And I'm going to look up a running back because I don't know who I have.
Well, I'll go nice and slow on the wraparound.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
We'll take
No,
it.
you got. I'll be good. You guys go ahead, do your thing. I'll be fine. Don't worry about old Nick.
No. Man, but you know what? I kind of like the Bo Nix pick too because traditionally,
You just like Bo Nix.
I do love Bo Nix though, and it's only because of the situation. I think that he is a bad that's a bad quarterback. I think it's fair to kind of say not bad. He can't be put in the bad category, but he's just so much highlighted in the system. Like he couldn't have gotten a better system for hey, Sean Payton, we're going to give you little dink dime. That's the reason I like Bo Nix from a fantasy perspective. The reason I like him in this game, where I think it's the Chiefs defense. Chiefs are out of it and they have no offense. And I think everyone on that team's just checked out. So more to come on that.
Yeah, that was the logic on that, putting him down as my guy. So yeah,
clearly.
I appreciate that. I think that'll happen. I think he'll have a big game.
Yeah.
Nick went through that in 0.2 seconds while Jay was thinking about analyzing it too.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I was trying to buy Nick some time to find.
That was spot on. I agree with you. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I am going to go with an unfortunate pick here. Just a plus matchup, and haven't picked him yet, and I'm probably not going to pick him next week against Seattle. So I am going to take Brock Purdy here. I hope he doesn't do well at all, but had a very good game last week, and I do see that this game could be in a 52.5 over. I think it could be a shootout, and I'll take that. Not wanting him to do well, so hopefully I jinx him.
Yeah. I don't like it.
I don't.
No, that's fair. Fair reasoning. Fair reasoning. So I'm going to wrap it around, and I'm going to take Kyle Monangai against the 49ers. I think that the ground game's going to eat, and I think that we're going to get 2 or 3 rushing touchdowns, and hopefully 2 of them go to Kyle Monangai. But I think that running game is really going to show up for the Bears and kind of drive the victory, the pace of the play. So I think that's, I don't know, again, we don't have the injuries or anything yet, but Swift has kind of been dealing with a little bit of an injury too. So maybe that gets Monangai the ball a little bit more. I'm going to wrap it up with Tet McMillan at home against Seattle for Carolina. I don't love the matchup, but something in my bones just says Carolina's going to show up for this game, and there might be some points scored. So,
yeah.
All right. Can't believe I have this guy left, but I'm going to go with Chase, Jamar Chase.
Ooh,
there we go.
Wide receiver 1.
Damn.
Yep. Got a Chase Brown. Got the Cincinnati Chases.
Damn.
Yep.
That's nice to have.
That is nice to have.
And can't believe I thought I didn't have Joe Burrow. I was okay. Well, can't do it now, boys. Whoops.
Oh well.
Should have done it.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys stalling for me to look up a running back that I haven't used yet. I think I have somebody. We will see once I punch it in. But I'm going to take Travis Etienne of the
that's a huge one.
Jaguars. Yeah. He has been really good this year lately. And Travis Etienne looks like I have not used him yet. So he will be who I'm plugging in my running back.
Love it.
Yeah.
I like these lineups this week, to be honest with you. I think there's going to be some points scored.
Yeah.
I just also found something, boys, and I think it's going to cause a 70-point penalty. We did have a misstep in week 15 I'm sorry, 14 and 16, where Nick did take Joe Burrow twice. So 80-point penalty, and you are now equal with me.
I did. You know why I did that? Because in week 14, we just wrote Burrow, and the way I check to see if I've used somebody is I type their name in, and if it autofills, and then we put Joe Burrow.
It's okay. It's okay.
I will take the 28.96 point penalty for last week, and that's fine.
That blows.
But I don't.
Okay.
It's fun.
No, it has to happen, which means I won last week. So pop the champagne, bitches.
It's true. Yeah. Well played. Damn, that sucks. But above all, I'm a man of integrity. So I appreciate you calling me out on that. Everyone knows this about me. I have a lot of integrity.
That's true.
Thank you.
That's true.
Vinny chasing the
Many people have been saying it.
Many people have been saying it. Some might say the most. Some might say I have the most integrity.
He's got the most integrity.
That fucking sucks.
It does suck. It does suck. Yeah. What? It is true.
It is true. Nothing you can do about that.
Well, on that note, we're going to move over to the dogs are hungry section of the week. This is an interesting one because we technically won some sort of bit on the parlay. We didn't go 3-0, but we went 2-0-1. And in the DraftKings ledger, you're getting paid out something. So we didn't lose money. We won money. We didn't win everything. Might have to look at what that would come out with to just track the dollars.
We were a plus 269.
Okay, sweet.
Yep. So
sweet.
Yeah.
Well, that definitely counts, right? I mean, that's good money. So
I didn't realize we won that. So when I'd opened my account yesterday, I was like, "Oh, that was very happy. I was very happy to see that."
Hey,
so.
Hell yeah!
I also have to throw it out to Nick. Nick's been tracking this, or if it wasn't Nick, Jay, and I had this misspoken. Nick has been tracking our wins and losses total year on this on the sides of the the bets and 3-man weave. We are profitable.
We are profitable
in the dogs right now.
Just the dogs.
Just the dogs at 511.
Yeah,
$511 in a slouch.
Yeah, just over 5 units. If you do our dogs and our over the week every week, you're only down about 2.5, 3 units, somewhere in that ballpark. So it's nothing like we're right there. We win one more of these, we're going to be profitable on the year for both.
Bingo.
Of them, so.
Yep. And you really can't put a price tag on fun,
right?
Correct. So
exactly.
Well
said.
Yep. No, that's good and great tracking, Nick. That has been awesome. So last week, I took the Panthers +3. They won the game straight out. Nick, you took Steelers +7. They won the game straight up. And then the Giants pushed. I forget who they played.
Vikings.
The Vikings.
God.
What a Vikings. Game. What a poop game. But hey, the push equates to a win in the parlay. So fantastic work. I don't recall exactly what the records are, but they're not too shabby. We're, I believe, over 500 on the year and profitable on the year. And that's really the only metric that matters when we're rolling these into the parlays. So, Drew, for week 17, I'm going to kick it over to you. Nick, you can go second and I'll round us up.
It's an interesting slate because I want to pick a Christmas game. The Christmas games suck.
Oh, they suck.
They're bad.
Oh my God.
Really bad games.
They really, really suck. But I'm gonna pick one. I am. And I'm gonna take. No, I'm not. Nope.
Yeah.
I'm off of it. I'm sorry. I forgot who it was. I'm going to go to a Saturday game, and I'm going to take the Texans. Took the Chargers last week to cover against. Or no, I didn't take the Chargers last week. I took them somewhere else. But I was thinking about taking the Chargers last week. I think the Texans are in just much more of a danger spot. Going to the Chargers and having to win this game It's a 2.5, which is very scary because a field goal then covers for you in a loss. But I do like the Texans. They're playing for their life. They're a good team. Chargers just came off playing the fucking Cowboys, who are terrible. And yeah, they beat them down. But I think this is a much closer game. One score, a couple of points here or there. But I do think the Texans are playing their best football right now and have to win this to get into the playoffs and be a substantial team. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I like that pick a lot. I'll probably have Houston in the money line parlay on Saturday as well, or on Saturday. So that's I like that pick a lot.
Yeah, that was my top pick, Drew, and I do have the Texans money line already bet.
I just want to tell you guys what my first initial thought was. I thought it was 9 and the Vikings, but I forgot 9 is somewhat injured, and I don't want Brosmer any part of that guy.
No.
So
no part of him whatsoever.
Agreed.
Let's just go back to him not being part of football anymore and be happy.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. I have 2 that I actually really like this week. I'm going to stick with my first thought when I saw this, and I'm going to take, I feel like this team gets bet almost every week in this segment, and I'm going to roll with it. I'm going to take the Panthers +7 against the Seahawks.
Love it.
I really, the Panthers, they have been favored, I think, 2 or 3 times this season, and they have gotten beaten outright in all those games. When they are getting points, I don't have their record in front of me, but it feels like they cover a lot of spreads, especially at home when they're home dogs. I mean, 7 is a big number for a playoff team to be down at home. I know the Carolina Panthers make their jokes. I make their jokes. They're not a very good team, but they play decent at home. They're going to keep this game close. I think the Seahawks probably win this game, but the Panthers keep it within 7. I'm pretty confident that they're going to keep it within 7. So I really like the Panthers +7 here.
That was my 3rd overall, Nick. So yeah, I love that.
Wonderful.
I would have picked it if I hadn't have picked the Panthers so many times this year.
yeah.
A lot of Panthers.
Fair.
They did the same thing to the Rams 2.5 or 2 weeks ago. Was it 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago?
It was like 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, when they were leading the West. I mean, this is just what the Panthers do at home. This is, scarily enough, this is a playoff team this year.
Yeah, right.
And yeah, Nick, I agree with you wholeheartedly that they're going to keep it close. And in Carolina, 7 points is way too much to give a home potential playoff team.
It's a lot of points.
Yeah. And what's my favorite thing?
West Coast, East Coast.
West Coast, East Coast. Absolutely. Amen. And this one plays because it's a noon kickoff too. It is a noon kickoff too.
Absolutely.
So that's a 10 a.m. spot for Seattle. I'm sorry, that's a 9 a.m. spot for Seattle local time. So
correct. 3 hours. Yep.
One other thing to bring up, we collectively have bet the Panthers how many times? 1, 2, 3, 6 times. 6 times is the dogs' record. 5-1. So
there you go.
There you go.
It is.
There you go. Yep. Not so shabby. Good. I like that pick. I'm glad that's on the board. My second overall pick, and the one that I'm going to go with, is Saturday night game. It's the Ravens against the Packers. The Ravens getting 3 points. I think the reason I like the Ravens so much is obviously there's talent, there's Lamar and things of that nature. But I also like the fact that they're going to be early in the slate of games this week where the Steelers are not going to have played yet. So their game, regardless, is going to mean something for them. They need to win the game to stay alive in the playoffs. It's in Lambeau. That's not great for them, but they're a cold weather team anyway. And this isn't, a rookie quarterback and a rookie coach and a young coach going into formidable territory. They know how to win these games. The Ravens might not be great this year, but they need it. And it's also one of those parlays with a hope that the Ravens just win the damn game. So let's get them to cover. And those are the reasons I like it.
Are you aware that Lamar is probably not going to play in this game?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
No, but we're going to keep on rolling, baby. We're going to snoop hunt. Could I have smothered? Be like, yep, because Snoop's. No, I had no idea. Actually, makes sense though. Lower back bruise, contusion.
It would be fitting. Snoop versus Malik. They're the better quarterbacks of that group anyway. So
I'd agree with that. We are over 6-1 in this parlay. We are plus 604. So yeah, it's fun. Let's get a win. Get some juice.
Let's do it. Excellent. Well, let's mosey on over to the overs of the week then. Overs from last week. Not great. 1 and 2. I took the Bucks and the Panthers over 45.5. That did not hit. I believe it ended at like 42 or 43. It was kind of
43, yeah.
43. Yeah. I was hoping that the Bucks could maybe force it to overtime. That would have been sweet. Didn't happen. What are you gonna do? Chargers Cowboys from Nick. Nice win. They surpassed that 49.5 point benchmark quite nicely. And then Drew Loveland over 45.5 did not pan out the way we wanted it to. What are you going to do? 1 and 2. New week, new chances. Let's roll one up. Nick, we're going to go Nick, me, Drew.
Yeah. Since I got the first pick here, I'm just going to do a don't think, just shoot. I'm taking the Cardinals Bengals. Yeah. I think that's number one.
I was going to say that's clear number one for all of us. Yeah.
Everybody's list.
I mean, just no defense, fantasy points galore. Yep. This is going to be this game, you might even want to take an alternate line around 75, to be honest. Like there's going to be a lot of points in this game. Like there's going to be a lot of points in this game.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm happy to take that one and put it on my name.
Yeah. No, that is what it is.
That might just be the Pro Bowl flag football game.
Yes. I love it. All right. I'm going to move us along. I'm going to take the Jags at the Colts, 48.5. I think, if you're going to be worried, the Jags defense is pretty good against Rivers. Like there's a world in which the Jags put up 14 to 16 points in that game. And that gets a little scary. I think the Jags offense has been kind of rolling pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
It's inside. The elements are good. So it's, I was thinking about doing a Jags, team bet over, but I'm just gonna go with the line itself. So 48.5.
Yeah, the Jags just put up 34 points in Denver against one of the best defenses in the league last week. So that offense is rolling right now. I love the pick.
Yeah, I know you took ETN. I took Lawrence, and I think we're kind of on a similar wavelength there.
100%.
Yeah, I don't know what to do, guys.
I don't know what to do.
My record. Yeah, you've seen my record. You've seen the things that are going on. Do I do a player prop? Do I do a team total? Do I do a game total? I just don't think the overs are in my favor this year in this section. Although we did just hit a basketball over for 1.2K just a little bit ago. So, hey.
What did you take? What did you take?
What did I take? I took an eight person parlay.
Damn.
For plus 2,000 odds.
So your triple double parlay, did that hit?
No.
Oh God, no, he'd be on a plane to fucking
parlay did not hit,
paradise.
Unfortunately, that would have been amazing.
Yeah.
I know a game. I'm gonna pick the Monday night game. The Falcons and Rams. I think that's 48.5 or 49.5. I do like a lot of points in the way that Kirk Cousins is controlling the game with the Falcons, and the Rams have to win. So Matthew Stafford is going to just absolutely light up whenever he possibly can. And it's inside in Mercedes-Benz. So
yep.
Give me that.
Yeah, you're right. 49.5 is the number. I'm seeing in DraftKings right now. Parlay is also over 6-1. We're at 602 plus 602. So we got some juice on these guys. And I really like these. So I think we got some. I think we're gonna be profitable for the season. We're gonna go 2-0 on the parlays this week. I think so.
Yes, sir.
6 weeks.
That would be really sick. Maybe parlay all 6 of them together.
I was going to say, you know what? I'm just going to do that. I'm going to lotto ticket it up.
Yeah, why not?
Drunk on Christmas.
I will be sure to get those posted tomorrow on Christmas Eve because it's going to be a busy week, and it's kind of gotten away from me a few times this year, but we're going to get that out for everybody, and hope you guys join us because we have been profitable, especially on the dogs this year. So jump on in.
Nick, I'm letting you roll with a weave.
Oh. All right. Let me pull up my old sheet here because I closed it. But we can.
Or I can.
No, we got it. I got it. Okay. If you want me to. I mean, if you want to run it, it's all yours.
Roll, baby. Roll,
all
baby.
Right. All right. Okay. So last week, all of us were over 500 last week. Jay and I both went 5-2. Drew went 4-3. So pretty good week. I'll be honest with you guys. I had to double check my notes because I had both of you guys taking the Colts over the 49ers, and I wasn't sure if that was right or not. And I think it was. And I'm not trying to call anybody out, but I thought that was a little weird that you guys both did. But either way, we all had a pretty good week though, so that's pretty good.
Listen, we believed in Phillip Rivers.
That's true.
We did not believe in the Colts defense. That's that. Yeah. That's the problem there.
Yeah, Colts defense. Whew. All right. So again, this week I tried to make as many playoff relevant games as possible. This week was not possible to find 7 playoff relevant games. See if you can spot the game that doesn't have playoff relevance when I'm going through it, because kind of threw it there in the middle. So we'll talk through it when we get to it. Put them in the chronological order. So yeah, first game off. This is a Saturday afternoon game. We're going to go ahead and just skip all the Christmas games because those games absolutely stink and no reason to do any of that. So we're going to go straight to the first game on Saturday. We're talking Houston at Chargers, Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers are -2.5. We just talked about them. Drew, I'm going to let you lead it off. I think you know where you're going.
Yeah. No, I'm going with Houston. That defense is not something to mess with this year, and Chargers are coming off playing the worst defense in the league, and going into the best defense in the league. Yes, they're going home. It's just going to be in my mind, a little bit of a rude awakening. Yeah. And again, means a little bit more than the Texans right now, because I think the Chargers are just about locked up in the playoffs. Right now, I don't think they have the West locked down because they have who's behind him. It's not KC, obviously. It is Denver is in front of them, so they can't have the West, but they have a wild card just about locked up. So, but both teams battling it out. I just think I like Houston right now. So, yeah. The Texans. I mean, realistically, both these teams are probably going to make the playoffs because the Colts and the Ravens are the teams that are first out in the AFC right now, and I don't think either of those teams are going to make the playoffs. But yeah, Texans, I think they do want to get a better seed, and they definitely have better seed options. Also, we talked about the Jaguars are on a run. They're only a game ahead of the Texans, so the Texans are not out of it in the AFC South. So I agree with you. I think the Texans are. I think this means a lot to the Texans. So I am also going to take the Texans to win this game because I like the Texans. That defense travels, and Houston. The Chargers. They've won a couple games that I thought they shouldn't have won coming into this, and I think it catches up to them this week, and they lose this game to the Texans. So, Jay, you want to make it unanimous?
We're going unanimous. Yeah,
I mean,
all the things you guys said. It just reminds me of when the Jaguars, when the Chargers played the Jags. Granted, that was in Jacksonville, but it just I think this is going to be a pretty comfortable win for the Texans, and I already put a money line wager on it for pretty aggressively. So we'll see it.
All right. Yeah, so it's unanimous then. We all like the Texans. So moving on to the next game, we're just going to go to the next game in chronological order because it's the next closest playoff game. We got the Packers. This is a Saturday night game. Packers hosting the Ravens. Packers are currently -2.5. Jay, you went last time. I'm going to let you lead off this one.
Yeah, like I said all show long, I'm a big believer in Snoop, knowing that he was going to be playing this game. So give me the Ravens.
Yeah, let's go. All right, Drew, what do you think in Ravens Packers?
Oh boy. What do I want? I want the Ravens.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pick the Ravens too. I do think that if they dictate the game a little bit more, they can win this, even though it's in Green Bay, even though Jordan Love might come back. That defense has seemingly turned a corner a little bit and are playing better in recent history. And this is essentially an elimination game for them.
Yeah.
So if they don't win this, they're out. And there's a lot of rumblings of if John Harbaugh is coming back. So I'm going to take them winning.
Yeah. Yeah, Jay, you brought this up when you were picking them as your dog, that the fact that the Steelers game won't have taken place yet, so they can't be eliminated when this game starts. I think that's big. I do believe the teams are going to play. I do think that they try really, really hard until they're out, and some guys might check out a little bit. So, but that I don't think that's in when you're basically eliminated. I think you play until you're mathematically eliminated. And again, I went with the Steelers last week for this exact same logic, so I'm going to apply it here and hope it sticks. I'm going to take the Ravens based on a preference and a hope and wishful thinking, but I do think the Ravens can compete with the Packers. There's also one thing I heard a lot of going into the Bears-Packers game last week, is that a lot of times when you lose a top of the line player like a Micah Parsons, there's like a 1 week bump, right? Where everyone is sitting around saying like, nobody believes we can do this without him. There's that like 1 week bump. And then after that 1 week, it kind of flattens out again. And I do think that there is the Packers have never had that kind of like loss, like a deflating loss like that in the regular season, at least not that I can think of, and not to the Bears specifically. So I do think the Packers are down kind of bad. And I think that the Ravens need the win desperately, so I think they're going to go in. They're going to win. So I agree with you guys. We're going to be unanimous on the first two, which wow, I don't know if that's ever happened before.
I don't think it has, but hey, here we go.
Here we go. All right, this is where you could tell I was kind of struggling to find playoff relevant games. This is playoff relevant, sort of. Weird line. We'll get to it. We got the Steelers at the Browns. Steelers -3. This is a Sunday noon game. I'll go ahead and go first. The Steelers have been very impressive lately. Like they're not blowing anybody out. They're not doing anything crazy on offense, or their defense is playing pretty good. But they've been winning games, and I kind of thought they were going to fade. But I'm going to take the Steelers here just because it's the Browns. But Steelers are impressive lately, and I think they continue. So, Drew, what do you think?
Gosh, this might be the first 3-game 3-man consensus.
Yeah.
I want to say Cleveland so bad just because
I know.
But I can't pick for Cleveland right now, especially Quinshon Judkins going down. We don't know how Shador's doing. It's also an interdivision game, so Mike Tomlin doesn't lose those all that often. So yeah, I just have to go with Pittsburgh.
Yeah. It's the slate is not great this week. I'll say that. There are some really good games. This isn't one of them. It's not your fault. Yeah,
we're not.
Robin Williams. Yep.
Robin Williams. It's not your fault.
It's not your fault. All right, Jay.
Yeah, guys, this is just blinking in bold red alarm Vegas trap game. And so I'm taking Cleveland, and that's the only logic for it. Is this should be a 6.5 pointer? It's not, and I'm taking Cleveland.
Yeah, that was going to be my one comment, is that this line doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's in Cleveland, a 3-point spread is wild for a playoff team who's actually been playing well lately, and the Cleveland Browns. So I think that might have some merit to it, but I am just going to, I think the Steelers.
It's begging people to bet Pittsburgh. Honestly, if it was less obvious, in my opinion, it'd be like 3.5, and we'd still be like, ew. I think I'm going to take Pittsburgh. And now it's like, well, you better bet Pittsburgh, guys, because it's only 3. So I'm taking Cleveland trap.
Yeah.
The other the point against our Cleveland friends out there is they are supposed to lose these games because of the fact that they need the picks, they need the higher picks, they need something in that organization and this is where they fuck up. And they do something wrong in a situation where they should just lose, and they say, you know what? Oh, okay, this is a pride win because it's division. No, lose it. Just lose it, but the win anyway.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, that is a great point. Yeah, we'll see about that one, but I'm actually thinking more. I'm gonna stick with Steelers. That's what I said. But anyway, next game, interesting game. Tampa Bay at Miami. Tampa Bay is -5.5 at Miami. Tampa Bay has been on a historic downslide the past like 8 or 9. I think they've won one game in their last 8 or something like that. They are really bad the last 2 months of the season. Miami not playing a real quarterback, so we'll see. I don't know. Kind of like the very stoppable force against the incredibly movable object situation here. But anyway, I don't remember the order I did last time. So Drew, I'm gonna let you start. No, Jay, you start. You went last time.
Sweet. I'm gonna take Tampa Bay. It means more for them. I mean, they kind of stink, but I mean, oof, Miami, Quinn Ewers, like, get out of here. So 5.5 layup.
Yeah. Drew, what do you think?
I just like I said with Cleveland, this is like a game Miami shouldn't win, like because of the franchise. They need the picks. They need all of these. It's a game somehow they do win because interstate rivalry. Quinn Ewers needs some go. Tampa Bay has just looked so bad, and they haven't been able to find what makes them good. That I'm with Miami this week. Cocaine nose for the last win. Before we get tired.
Yeah. This was a game that this was my second choice for dogs of the our dogs are hungry. I really like the Dolphins plus the 5.5 specifically. And again, nothing about Miami I like except for Devin Achane. He's one of the best running backs in the NFL and continues to be. But besides that, this team is awful. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take the Dolphins as well. The Bucs. I don't think the Bucs could beat a JV high school team right now. I think that there's something psychologically wrong with this team, and they are just broken. And I think the Dolphins. I also think the Bucs have an unfortunate situation where their last game of the season is against the Panthers, and it's a very much like a look ahead to the big division showdown finale. And by the way, you got to beat the Dolphins first, and you guys haven't beaten anybody in the last 2 months. So I think the Dolphins sneak up and win this game. Yeah,
I think that's solid reasoning. Yeah.
No. Yeah. All right. Moving on. Sunday noon. Also, we got the New Orleans Saints at Tennessee Titans. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know. This game is on here because it's a close spread. And anyway, so I am going to go first. I'm taking the Saints in this game. Tyler Shuck, he's been playing pretty good the last few weeks, and there's been a lot of funny Shuck puns that I've enjoyed hearing around the internet. So I'm going to keep that going. I'm going to roll with the Saints. Let's kick it over to Jay. Jay, what do you think?
The Saints have beaten the Panthers twice this year, which is insane.
Yeah.
They're like very good in their division. Well, very good might be a stretch. I mean, but they have 3 wins for being like that team.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Nick. I think that Kellen Moore is kind of a little bit of an alchemist in the sense that, hey, he's taken over, and once they've kind of committed to Shuck being the quarterback, it's producing results. And at Bucks versus Panthers, Jets, whatever, everyone beats the Jets, but they're coming off of 3 in a row, and they're looking like a competent football team. And you're playing the Titans that just are not that. So Kellen Moore's an offensive guru, and I'm gonna ride the hot hand in the Saints.
Yeah. Drew, what do you think?
I'm against both of you just because no, it's not that you don't make sense. Both of you guys make a lot of sense in that. Cam Ward just played a very good game against Kansas City. Yes, it's a Kansas City team that was out of the playoffs and out of contention, but nonetheless, it was an NFL football team that they beat by double-digit points.
Yeah.
And New Orleans is great in their own dome. Traveling, not as much. Tyler Shuck, love you because you're on my dynasty bench right now. But I do think this is a Tennessee spot where this is almost where I took Tennessee as dogs of the week, just because they are a home dog right now, and it seems like teams that are in equal standing. But give me Cam Ward. I think they can win this game.
Yeah, I do want to say one thing, and Drew, I agree with you 100%. I'm not trying to dog this pick by any means. I agree with you. This game is a coin flip to me. Like, either team could win this game. You did say that they played a real NFL team last week, and they did. The Chiefs are an NFL team. I had never heard of that quarterback. I'd never heard his name mentioned or said or read his name and I'm not going to say that I'm a huge college football guy, but like I follow it somewhat regularly. Usually if there's an NFL quarterback, I can tell you what college you went to, especially if he's relatively young. I had never heard that man's name said or never read that man's name or knew nothing about that man. So just want to throw that out there. I don't know who do you know him? Who is that guy? Who is the Chiefs quarterback? Ever heard of him? Anybody?
No. Nope.
If you had a gun to my head and asked me what his name is right now, I would not be able to tell you what his name is right now.
I know his name.
I know the last name starts with a CH.
It's weird. It's an uncommon name. I couldn't even tell you his first name. Don't know anything about him. But
don't want to sound too horrible, but I thought he was a tribal man. They just got off a reservation. All right, we're gonna skip over that one. Okay, get it, Chiefs. Come on, guys, follow with me.
Right, yeah,
here we are.
It was just a joke.
No, for sure.
Yeah, of course.
Oh God.
Oh my God. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. So, last two games, I think these are probably two of the better games on the slate. So I'm pretty excited that we get, obviously our game at the end, but this one's going to be a good one as well. We got the Eagles at the Bills. This is a Sunday afternoon. It's like a 3:25 kickoff on Sunday. Bills are -1.5 in Buffalo. So, I am going to let Drew lead us off. Who do you like in the Bills Eagles?
Don't get it, Bills. That's it. Like, America's game of the week or not, I don't care. Philly hasn't figured it out. Yeah, they played Washington last week. Yeah. It's still the Bills.
Yeah. I am also going to take the Bills. The Bills, they just do this thing. They looked terrible last week against the Browns. They almost lost that game to the Browns. But the Bills just do this thing. We talk about it all the time. They just play with their food. They don't take these games seriously. They come in and they think they can win on talent alone, and they can. But if you look at their the Bills they're like, I want to say they're like 1-5 covering spreads against teams under 500 this year. They win the games, but they just don't cover these spreads. When you got the Eagles coming home or coming to your home, and this is I believe this is the last Buffalo Bills game in the stadium that they're playing in, correct? Right? Because they got the new stadium coming next year. Mm-hmm. This is a big game. They're going to get up for it. And when the Bills get up for games, and especially when Josh Allen gets up for games, they are very hard to beat. So I'm going Bills all day on this one. I also just don't really think the Eagles are that good. So, Bills for me. Jay, what do you think?
I mean, the logic angle says take the Bills, and I'm with you there. A couple of counterpoints on that. A couple of the reasons why I'm taking the Eagles, and I'm going to take the Eagles here. Josh Allen's got a tender ankle. He didn't practice today. I can't imagine him not suiting up for this game. But that is a concern, especially, the Eagles are going to get your licks on him. And Josh, when he's running, he's not necessarily looking to avoid contact. So there's a real possibility that he either is limited or gets knocked out of the game. at some point. But also, and that's kind of a side note to the main reason why I'm picking this. Nick, like you said, the playing with the food thing, like that is just quintessential Bills. It's bizarre. But this is also to the Eagles. Like this is where it's like, okay, everyone's writing the Eagles off, and no one's going to be scared to play the Eagles in the playoffs. And then they can come out and win a game on the road against the Bills and be like, hey, we're the fucking defending Super Bowl champions, and remember us. And then that just creates this narrative into the playoffs that no one wants to play in Philadelphia. And you're going to see, Rams or 49ers or Seahawks at Eagles, and everyone's going to get like amped up for that game. So I think this is kind of a gateway game for the Eagles back in this larger national spotlight of, hey, everyone wrote us off. And for some reason, I just think the Eagles are going to win this game. And that's just going to be the dominoes that kind of fall. So it's not based on skill. It's not based on logic. It's just a weird feeling that I've seen this script play out before.
Yeah, no, I think that the angles that we're kind of coming at this make a lot of sense because, on paper, these two teams are both very good, very skilled teams. I don't think either team has a particularly good coach. I don't you know what I mean? Like, there's not really a coaching edge there. I think they're both mediocre at best coaches. I think this game is just going to kind of devolve into like a backyard football game, and I think that is good for both teams. And I think either team could win skill-wise. But, yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Like, you're right. Like, this game could go either way. And I said the Eagles stink, and I kind of do think that, but I do think this is going to be an awesome game, and I'm very excited to watch this game. So
I wish they had an award for worst coach of the year because it would be Sirianni by a landslide. Yeah. He's just held that team and that talent back so much by being such a jackass. And
yeah, I agree. Sirianni is not a good coach. But then you look across the field in this game to Sean McDermott, and we talk about the Bills playing with their food all the time. Like, that's coaching. That's all coaching.
Yep.
McDermott, McDermott hit the lottery, got Josh Allen, and he was a fine. Like, he took the Bills to the playoffs before Josh Allen got there. So he's not a terrible coach. I do think if the Bills were to get a new coach, I think the Bills would be if the Bills were to get a high level coach, they would be an elite team in the NFL. But the fact that they have McDermott.
Okay.
Well, it's okay. Well,
go for it.
No, yeah, I don't think McDermott is that bad. I really don't. I think there's a lot of things that have gone wrong in that system with, Joe Brady being there for a while. And didn't he leave this year? Or is he still there?
He's still there.
I thought he left, but maybe not. Even so, the Bills are still where they are for reasons beyond, yes, the head coaching and their coaching. But I don't know if you put an elite coach in there, if that gets any more out of them what they already have. They've been a playoff team, pushing them over the edge for coaching. I don't. Uh-oh.
No, sorry. Finish your point. I just have a funny nothing. Go on.
Do you have a funny basketball?
No, it's not basketball. I'm not betting. This is just a funny thing I thought of and looked it up to confirm I was right.
Gotcha. But even so, I don't think coaching pushes the Buffalo Bills over the edge in my mind. It's more of that their players and some of the play calls. Joe Brady, some of his play calling has just absolutely shocked me this year. Of you're riding a back in James Cook that could be the offensive player of the year, and yet you shy away from him in the red zone. You shy away from him at times, when you should lean into him and ride that guy till he dies. And it's I have to pass the ball around for some reason, or I have to get everybody their touches. It just doesn't make sense to me.
That's a Sirianni model too. It's
exactly. When you're a good team, just fucking lean into your good players and ride them till they die.
Yeah,
ride them till they're gone.
And that's what I'm saying. McDermott, he's not the offensive coordinator. He's the defensive guy. He's the head coach. But if you're the head coach and you see that you have this guy you can lean on, go to your offensive coordinator's office and be like, hey, fucking give James Cook the ball more. Like that's the thing you can do as the head coach. And also, I just want to point out the thing I was laughing about. I wanted to confirm it. Sean McDermott once gave the team a meeting, tried to give him a speech about team unity and teamwork and all this stuff, and he cited the 9/11 attackers as an example of good teamwork.
Nope.
So
Okay.
I just want to throw that out there.
No.
Don't know if you ever saw that. That's a very hilarious, awful thing that happened. He really did that. He had to apologize. Yeah. So
Well,
just want to make sure
thinking
that
outside the box,
anyway.
Taco
I don't
Bell.
know what's worse
Think
than
outside
that.
the
I
box.
don't know. Honestly, I don't know what's worse is the reference to 9/11 or him hiring Ken Dorsey as the offensive coordinator for a year and a half. So
Ken Dorsey's an absolute psychopath. Do you remember the old videos of him like in the booth and he was just breaking stuff and slamming tablets? Like I was a lunatic, and I need more of that. I wish he's probably still coaching somewhere. Gotta get a camera.
Passing game coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh boy.
Well, he's doing a good job there. It's actually been pretty good.
Yeah, it has been.
All right. Anyway, all right. The reason we all came here, we got one more game on the slate. We got Bears at 49ers. 49ers are -3. This is Sunday night football. This is 7:20, 7:30, whatever on Sunday night. Yeah, Bears at 49ers. Sorry, I wrote down who I am going to next, and I think that's going to be it's going to be Jay. I think it's who we're leading off with here. So Jay, who do you got in the Bears 49ers game?
We always pick the Bears, and sometimes I'm confident in it, and sometimes I'm not. But this one, I actually feel I feel very good with the Bears. I think the Bears have such an advantage on the offensive line. I think the defense for the 49ers is meh at best, and I think that the Bears can kind of continue to ride this like momentum of just getting better and believing in what they have. Whereas if you're the 49ers and you're many of the key players, you know that you've had better times. You know that you've had better teams. You know that you've had better talent. Where the Bears are saying the best is in front of us. Mm-hmm. And I think they'd travel into the 49ers and then make another statement win that says, listen, everyone wanted to say that we had too much luck. We played this bad schedule, and we're going to go back to back. We're going to beat the Packers. We're going to beat the 49ers on the road. And what's everyone going to say now? And I think there's a lot of what Ben Johnson does such a great job of, other than the X's and the O's, is getting the most out of his players. And I think that's going to be the difference maker in this game. Is the Bears are going to come up believing, needing, wanting to win this game more, and that's how they're going to do it.
Drew, what do you got?
Great one. All great points. I wish I could have done this I'm sorry, Nick. I just saw what you were typing. I'm sorry. I'm taking this away from you. I want to take the Bears. So bad. I wish I could have taken this when I sent it on November 24th. I sent it to both of you. I sent it to Jay. I sent it to multiple text threads, and I'm going to put it in my camera right here. This is, yeah, you can't really see it because it's blurring out.
Yep, not really sure what we're looking at here.
This was the final 6 games.
Yeah, okay, I remember you saying that.
All of you guys.
I remember that.
The final 6 games of the season for the Chicago Bears. And we had a win at Philadelphia. This is what I predicted. Mm-hmm. A loss at Green Bay, a win against Cleveland, win against Green Bay, loss against San Francisco, and a win against Detroit. I'm sticking with that. I think if I would have predicted that to happen, that would have been like a plus to 2,500 or something like that. For me, in the other reasoning behind this is it's a tough travel. It's one of those games that means a lot to both teams. It's just a tough game against another competing team in your division. And I want the Bears to win, and I'm going to place a money line bet to hopefully jinx myself. I think right now the 49ers are in it a little bit more to make the playoffs than the Bears are. So, and be a higher seed. So, yeah.
Reasonable.
Yeah. Unexpected, to be honest. Reasonable. Unexpected though. But
sorry.
you gotta do what you gotta do.
I like the play of the Nostradamus angle. This is the predictions.
That was the only reason. That was the only reason.
That makes sense.
I had him going 4-2 to finish the season, and I'm just sticking with it. That's it.
Man, Jay, his speech got me so pumped that I put a 3-unit bet on the Bears money line, and now I'm just couldn't be more deflated after that.
Oh,
highs and lows, baby.
You blew it.
No.
You're that person.
Bears. It's Bears. There is going to be it's going to be a tough travel schedule, especially you throw biggest holiday on the calendar right in the middle of all that. Then you go, got the primetime game, West Coast, all that stuff. I don't think this 49ers defense can stop the Bears offense. The Bears offense will be able to get whatever they want, and that's going to be lean on the run game, run that damn ball. They're going to run the ball early, often, keep going. They're going to own the clock. 49ers are probably going to score some points, but I think the Bears win this game. I think the Bears win this game like 31-28, somewhere high scoring, a lot of points in this game. Probably going to bet the over in this one as well. But I like the Bears, and I think Bears win this game. We talked a little bit earlier about what we're rooting for this year, like this week. I want the 1 seed. I want all the playoffs to come through Chicago. It's in our grasp. I think that's worth going for, and I think the Bears are going to be I know the Niners kind of are too, because if they win this game, they kind of are, and they can be in the 1 seed as well. So I do think that this is, it's a big game, and I think the Bears. I just believe in Ben Johnson fully, 100%, and I think that they can overcome these travel issues and whatever else. So I'm taking the Bears and hoping that they win because of the large bet that is put on them. But no, they're going to win because I'm confident in them. But yeah, Bears.
Amen, brother.
Amen.
As you should with all of that.
All right. Cool. With that, we're going to call it a day on the pod. But before we do that, let's just go around quick and give our December 23rd. It's almost Christmas Eve in 20 minutes.
It's almost Christmas Eve, dude.
Yeah.
Which is wild. So we're going to go around the horn. We're going to give our closing thoughts. I'll go ahead and start just because I had kind of a funny thing happen to me today. So anyone that's listened to this podcast for the past, almost 2 years knows I've dedicated a lot of my closing thoughts to talking about home renovation stuff, issues with my kitchen I was having last year, painting, all that fun stuff. We did another big step today. We got our back patio, sliding glass door replaced today. And it was the original one. It was like the frame was cracked. It was really ugly. And it took forever it was really heavy to close because it wasn't smooth on the track, all that fun stuff. So we finally got that replaced and it's installed and it's good to go. Another reason, a much smaller reason why we needed to do this is because our old dog smashed through about 3 screens on the old door. Just the screen is closed and he just didn't see it and smashed right through it at full speed. So my wife and I, one of the things we were excited about is this spring when we can have the screen open, get some airflow in the house. It's going to be awesome. Well, tonight I was putting up Christmas lights in the backyard. I have 2 about 8-foot pine trees right behind my patio door on my back patio. And I was putting up some Christmas lights on there. And my kids were out there with me and it was fun. And then I turned around for 5 seconds. My youngest son had closed the screen and my new dog ran right through the screen. We've had this patio door for going on 12 hours and the screen is already destroyed. And it's just, God damn it.
You need a $1,600 parlay coming your way.
I didn't handle myself the best, but I didn't do the worst either. Things got a little heated there, but we're good now. But anyway, with that being said, tomorrow 19 minutes from now is Christmas Eve and the holidays. Just going to let that flow through me and just deal with and do the happy stuff. And just going to get over the fact that I just spent $5,000 on a broken screen door, basically. But anyway, Merry Christmas to all the Barely Qualified fans and listeners and watchers and commenters and however you participate in your Barely Qualified. We appreciate you. I appreciate you. And that's the end of my closing thoughts. So, Jay, go ahead.
Nick, that's too good, man. That's like,
yeah,
that is inevitable to a certain degree. So,
yep.
I'm going to keep my closing thoughts very, very simple. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, whatever you celebrate it well, celebrate with your family, share the love, make the world a better place. Don't reflect too hard, but just think of the good stuff. Make life good for the next couple of days, and stay safe. And much love. And that's all I got.
Just echoing, I don't need to say much else other than what Jay just said. Is everyone out there have a safe, happy holidays. Get what you can and win some bets out there. And happy holidays.
Bet some Korean ping pong during the 2:30 feed. True.
Don't get straight setted by a minus 500 favorite. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, go ahead. Yeah.
No, go.
No, you. Sorry.
No, I don't even know who's supposed to do it, but
I don't either.
Listen, the show's over. The show's over. Let the good times roll. No, that'll do it for us. Barely Qualified. On behalf of myself, Drew, and Nick, thanks for listening. As always, we'll catch you on the flip side. Merry Christmas, happy holidays. We love y'all. Again, we'll catch you on the flip side.
Thank you for listening to the Barely Qualified podcast. Like, comment, subscribe for more on a bi-weekly basis.